The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
It's been a tough summer along the banks of the Mississippi. Life is a grindstone, and whether it grinds a man down or polishes him up depends on the stuff he's made of. Well, here in Iowa, nothing rallies these good folks quite like the Iowa Hawkeyes. Kinnick Stadium, 70,000 on a Saturday afternoon. And ABC Sports welcomes you to college football. A Big Ten conference matchup. The newcomer, the Nittany Lions of Penn State, against the Iowa Hawkeyes.
The tri-captains for Penn State.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody. With Dick Vermeil, I'm Brett Musburger. For 106 years, Penn State was one of the most glamorous independents in the country. But Dick, today, here they are, coming their first road game in the Big Ten.
Well, they've been here before and played well enough to win, but not in a conference atmosphere. Iowa plays very hard in these Big Ten games. No pro football, Brent. They take their football seriously. It rubs off on the way these kids play. I've never seen them play poorly in this stadium.
Overcast day, but the rain may hold off. A lot going on. Let's send you to John Saunders in New York. John?
All right, we'll get you out to your game in just a moment, but first let's get you updated on some of the games. Arkansas and Alabama. Jay Barker quickly to David Palmer, 16 yards in this, not even a contest, 43-3. Ohio State blows out Pitt, 63-28 the final there. And BC late in the game, under 3 minutes left, trailing Northwestern by 1. We'll update these and other games, and we'll see you at halftime on the Prudential Halftime Report. The kickoff is next after this.
May I help you? Sprint is the only global phone company with local, long distance, and cellular. So whether you're calling around the world or around the corner, with Sprint, you can be there now. So whoever said the world doesn't revolve around you, obviously didn't have Sprint.
My life isn't about throwing money around. It's about hanging on to it. It's not about owning a $40,000 car. It's about owning a good car. It's not how much something costs that matters to me. It's how well it works. Look, don't tell me what I want. Show me you've got what I need.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Better try something else. Mine really works.
You'd better try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it more than all leading brands. Selsun Blue. Doctor recommended #1.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while, so it's not a total surprise.
Believe me, it's still a little scary being on your own now. You really need to start thinking about money.
I haven't begun to think about that.
When I went through this, I sat down with the broker over at P. Weber. He looked at what I had, and we came up with a plan that basically just let me get on with my life.
And how did he know what you needed?
Fortunately for me, he asked.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex. Killing those grungy fungi before they get racket and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
Even though it's overcast, Julie Moran, it's always very colorful when we come to Iowa City, isn't it?
That's right, Brent. Believe it or not, the color pink will play a part in today's football game for both teams. Why? Well, it's a well-known fact that Hayden Fry was a psychology major. He was doing a little redecorating a couple of years ago, and he chose a soft pink shade of paint for the visitors' locker room. He thought this would mute the visiting team's aggression. Well, it's worked in the past, but I don't know about Penn State. Their original colors in 1887 were pink and black. They only changed the colors to blue and white in 1890 because the jerseys faded. So a pink locker room, hey, it's like going back to their roots for Penn State.
Julie gets booed here by these Hawkeye fans.
Hey, was Joe coaching at that time, Brent?
That is Brett Conway with the ball on the tee, kicking it off here for Penn State. Paterno, his first road game as a conference member. Incidentally, he was not the coach for all 106 years of their independent stats. Back deep guy and Shaw. And Conway rips it to the end zone. Coming out on the 20-yard line now. And the hometown quarterback, Paul Burmeister, with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. He grew up right here in the shadow of Kinnick Stadium. Leads the Hawkeyes out here. And Dick, what's the game plan for this offense?
Well, offensively, they want to try to stay balanced. Prior to this ball game, out of personality, out of philosophy, they've been running much more. Today, they're going to try to keep it balanced, run and pass.
Split backs. In fact, they'll send Cliff King off into a slot position. And then get Slutzker, the tight end, off the line and run the tailback out of that formation, Ryan Terry. Now here are the backs and receivers whom we just mentioned. Terry and King. Dean Jasper, the dangerous wide receiver. There's the offensive line. Wigman is the center, built around him, matched against this defensive unit. Lou Benfatti, number 55. Let's remember that number today for Penn State. Shelly Hammonds, number 21, did a fine job on that corner last week against Southern Cal in the clutch. Now coming up with 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain, and Burmeister going to throw his first pass of the game with a defender in his face. Throws incomplete downfield. Hammonds there with the coverage on the wide man.
I know that Frank Verducci, the offensive line coach at Iowa, was really concerned about the quickness of the Penn State defensive linemen. Brent, they're very quick. Quickest defensive linemen we've seen this year. Not the biggest guys, but good movement. They don't stay blocked. Good pass rushers.
Hayden Fry matching wits with Joe Paterno, 2 of the great veterans in the college game. Four down linemen for Penn State. Burmeister straight back. The backs have to help to block. Pressure there, and the running back couldn't hold on. And he was ripped by Pittman as he was juggling the ball.
You know, he had enough time to throw that completely. That should have been a completed pass. Running back Ryan Terry, you'll see him coming out of the backfield. Good times. He pedals back, watching the field, keeps his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. Now he flicks it out there right in the hands. He has to make that play if they're going to upset Penn State.
Nick Gallery. Bobby Ingram back deep for the Nittany Lions. Wrestled down at the 49-yard line. John Hartlieb there for the Hawks. And here is the quarterback, John Sacca. His brother, Tony Sacca, the longtime quarterback of Penn State, now a backup with the Phoenix Cardinals out of Delran, New Jersey. 5 touchdowns in 2 games. His 2 interceptions coming last week in a subpar performance against the Trojans. Now, what about the Penn State game plan, Dick?
Look for them to include the fullback in their running game much more. Going to run up inside much more than they have in the last couple of weeks.
O'Neal, the fullback, they now switch into a basic pro set, and Carter is the tailback. Chris Webb is there defensively for the Hawks. Now the backs and the receivers here for Joe Paterno will line up this way behind Sacca. Carter gets the start. They're 3 fine tailbacks. Justin Williams playing today. Bobby Ingram, very dangerous offensive line. Harding's number 50 has been grading out very high this season. Against this defensive unit, Chris Webb already in on a stop. There are the defensive backs. Scott Plate, the veteran, number 6 over on the right corner. Sacca to throw. Offensive line gives him great time. Sacca with plenty of time throws incomplete.
He definitely just threw that away in the direction of a receiver. Good underneath coverage that time. They went zone with 5 people across the board underneath, too deep. Tough to find a guy open. He just throws it out of bounds. Last week, he might have thrown the interception.
Fran Gander. And Joe talking on the sideline. Stephen Pitts now the tailback, number 40. 3rd and 8. Backs out. Incomplete. Tight end Kyle Brady. Well covered by Larry Blue, who dropped off from his linebacking spot and did a good job on a very talented tight end.
They were in a form of man underneath coverage, and you'll see Brady coming off here. He's going to be covered one-on-one by Blue. Crossing pattern, tough to cover him all the way across the field like that. He held on to him just a little. The ball's thrown where it should be thrown out in front of him. I think Brady would normally catch that ball.
B.J. Masillo punting for Penn State. Gets it off against pressure. Willie Guy lets it hit on the 16, and it's going to be marked out at about the 12-yard line. 36-yard punt by Masillo. Underway in Iowa City.
He's in Manhattan on Wednesday, Frankfurt on Thursday, Paris, Rome, and Vienna after that. He believes it's better to do business across a table than over a fax machine. This year, he'll fly more than 100,000 miles with us because he knows nobody understands him better than we do. At Delta, when we say we love to fly and it shows, this is where it shows.
Think of all this as a large block of ice. Think of this as a chip off the old block. Coors Light's aged ice cold. So when you think of ice, think of the silver bullet. The only way to chill.
Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
It's Joe's first big show in Kansas City, Mo. Joe Montana and the Chiefs host John Elway and the Broncos on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Tough ticket here. Trying to get into Kinnick Stadium, and never know who might be outside shopping for tickets. Well, I see he found one.
This guy, I'd love to talk offensive football with him. He asked him his philosophy. He says, you know, I just scratch word itches, meaning wherever it looks good, I'm going to attack there.
Doesn't itch too much after that good defensive stand, giving Penn State a short field. King and Shaw checking in, and a great defensive play by Eric Clare. Let's take a look at what they're doing to Lou Benfatti.
See, they doubled up maybe over there on the side of Benfatti, and that freed up Eric Clare coming from the inside of that play. You'll see it, they're coming from the left-hand side of the screen. See him come down. The effort to put two people to help Benfatti singles up Eric Clare. He beats him to the inside.
2nd and 11 is the result. The tackle for a loss. Burmeister with a short drop, throws complete and out of bounds. And Tulla. Shelley Hammonds covering.
Jeff Antela hasn't practiced all week. He's had a groin problem, and they've kept him out of practice. When I was here on Thursday and watching him work, he didn't move a muscle. He just stood there and watched the practice. Penn State can hold him here again. They'll get the ball back in good field position like they did that last series.
And if Iowa can get 6 yards, they'll stay alive.
Well, they've been a strong first half starter, not played well in the second half, as you saw by that graphic.
Good protection. First down, Hawkeyes. Scott Slutzker.
You'll see the tight end coming across on a crossing pattern underneath the zone. He'll work all the way across. The linebackers will drop out of there. See him now working across there, number 84. See, a lot of time, no pass rush on him. The zone had dropped out of there. Now you'll see the corner appear. Here's another shot. Here's Pittman coming up to make the play.
16-yard gain puts the ball at the Hawks 32. Cedric Shaw cannot beat the defender Tyoka Jackson, big number 97.
He has very, very good quickness. He has 18.5 sacks in his career, number 5 in the history of the school, Brent. And Matt Millen is number 2 with 22 sacks. Larry Kubin is number 1 with 30. He has a good chance to catch number 2, Matt Millen. Boy, last week SC couldn't make a drop running the football, and when you can stop SC from running, you win. Look at that, 1.1 yard of rush.
Another tackle for a loss by this Nittany Lion defense. That one for 6 yards, 2nd and 16. Burmeister stays in the pocket and fires complete down the middle to Anthony Dean. That's a first down, Hawkeyes.
They got him in a man-to-man coverage situation. One-on-one coverage out there. Tight end crossing pattern. You'll see the tight end to the right. He'll cross. See, 84, Slutzker crossing. You see the safety trailing him. Now here comes a one-on-one situation back to the right side of your screen. He beat Pittman to the inside on a square in. First down.
Burmeister, Dick, looks like a tough hombre. He's standing in that pocket, and the Nittany Lions are coming hard on defense. Now Cliff King and Ryan Terry are in at running back. Burmeister with good time here. Down the middle again. Intercepted, was it? Incomplete. I'll tell you, he had a shot at it back there. Derek Bana and Lee Rubin were working deep for the Nittany Lions.
Lee Rubin's intercepted 7 passes interceptions in his career there. Here's one he almost gets. You'll see it was a high throw. It was tipped right there, and he almost takes it off the turf. You know, the thing about Burmeister is he didn't throw a ball all week. He got hit in the back with a helmet last week, Brent, and wasn't able to throw the ball. They held him off until pregame warm-up. He did not throw a football.
Shotgun for the Hawks. Burmeister firing, complete on the sideline. Wonderful catch. Anthony Dean with his 2nd catch here in the opening quarter. Alabama big over Arkansas by 40.
Boy, they really jumped up.
And the Irish now in command. Michigan State led that one 7-6 at one point. 2 other big ones being covered by ABC. John Saunders will be keeping you up to date on those 2. And that one.
I think Hayden Fry has got to be very pleased with how well his offensive line is pass protecting this down 4 right now.
Splits his backs again and gets Shaw into the offense. Burmeister showing us an arm, rifling it to Antela. Shelley Hammond's there defensively. They're working on that corner, Dick. Any significance there?
Well, they're getting him in some one-on-one coverage situations like that. That's just, and they're throwing out that quick stuff. And talking with Don Patterson, the offensive coordinator for Iowa, he said they're going to emphasize throwing the ball in 3- and 5-step drops and or play action, which the play action would help freeze the defensive lineman a little bit. And so far, it's working real well. Look for Penn State to include a linebacker in a blitz.
Here's Shaw. Could not get the corner turned against this Nittany Lion defense. Lavati and Pittman were there. All right, John Saunders, what do Wildcats do up in Dyke Stadium against BC?
Well, Brent, you'll be happy to take a look at this one. David Gordon going for a field goal for Boston College that would have given them the lead with about a minute left. He misses it. As a result, Northwestern hangs on and wins it 22-21. Brent.
A big day for Northwestern after being embarrassed by Boston College a year ago. This was one they have been laying in wait for as that program continues to show some improvement. And here's an offensive lineman who has to show some improvement.
Here's Matt Quest, senior out of Baymore, Iowa. He's upset. Now this kid came to Iowa as an honor student out of high school, so he surely can remember the snap count. That's just a break in concentration right there. Big, strong guy at 285 pounds. And doing a real good job so far in pass protecting Tyoka Jackson.
3rd and 10 is the result of the penalty. That sly fox Hayden Fry has done it again. for 2 games against Tulsa and Iowa State. He runs the ball. He comes up against a tougher Penn State defense, and he starts to air it out a little bit and show a little of the old Hayden Fry offense. Here he is with a shotgun. Burmeister in trouble. Gets it off incomplete. Ben Fatty was there. Jackson surrounding Burmeister.
Toyoka Jackson did a real nice job of taking a quick inside rush. You'll see him over here to the left side of your screen, number 97. Now watch him set. There, now watch him see to the left side of your screen. He got underneath to tackle right now. Very fine, quick move.
And Nick Gallery will punt it as Iowa improves its field position dramatically with its 2nd possession before giving it away. Ingram swarmed at the 12. John Hartlieb again. That's 2 tackles. 2 special team tackles for Hartlieb, the junior.
Recently, Boomer Esiason tried to bet a few of his friends that they couldn't eat just one Lay's potato chip.
I bet you.
People are discovering that Lay's are different.
Hi, guys.
So crunchy and perfectly golden, you can't eat just one.
Hey, come on. Do I look stupid? Who's stupid enough to take that bet? Welcome to Monday Night Football. Hi, I'm Frank Gifford. I'm Al Michaels. And I'm Dan Deardorff.
Today's Lay's, now more than ever, that you can't eat just one.
Hey, I don't worry about what's happening on Rodeo Drive. I worry about taking care of my kids. And I want a car I like, even when I'm through paying for it. I want a car to make my life simpler. Isn't that what a car is for, anyway?
Ben and Connie Studebaker look at things differently since they became parents. I'm Roger Cruel. I'm their State Farm agent. Having a family brought a lot of changes in their lives, so we thought it was a good idea to sit down and have a family insurance checkup. We started by adding to their life insurance protection. Then we went over all their family insurance to help make sure their coverage was up to date. After all, you never know what could happen.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see the all-new Chevy cars for 1994. By Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now. By the 25th Anniversary Diamond, for a brilliant celebration of your loving marriage. And by Domino's, where you always get great pizza, plus something for nothing. Penn State, nothing. Iowa, nothing. Nittany Lions with the ball. Pitts and O'Neal in that backfield. Pitts gets the call. Mike Daly there defensively for the Hawks.
Number 38, Mike Daly.
You know, in talking to Bill Brazier, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, he says Penn State does a very good job of packaging their offense and audibling off that package according to what you do. And he was going to try to disguise his fronts and move defensive alignment around to help sort of foul up that audible package.
Saka, incomplete. Ingram, the intended receiver, very well covered by Tom Knight.
You know, Brent, earlier you made a point about the fact that Iowa had moved the ball in that second series. They didn't get a field goal, they didn't score, but they really changed the field position for Penn State. That was a very successful drive. They've got to be gaining some confidence here.
Meanwhile, Saka is 0 of 3 against the Iowa defense. Both backs out as the offensive line gives Saka time, and the arm was coming forward. Incomplete pass.
Chris Webb did a real nice job. He's a junior college transfer, was not here in the spring, came here without a scholarship. Now he'll be coming there to the right side of your screens. He just keeps coming. The coverage took the pattern away downfield. They went to a 2-deep zone. covered out those short zones, and they were just watching those crossing receivers. He couldn't find anybody to throw to. Give credit to the defense.
DJ Masillo and the Hawkeyes could be operating with a short field on their next possession.
Low snap.
Willie Guy waits. That's it, hit near midfield, takes it on one hop. That was still a wise play by the sophomore. Had he let it continue bouncing, that punt would have got another 25 yards. Joe Paterno has to be a little concerned here in the early going.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
This has to be in L.A. tomorrow.
No problem, sir.
With express mail from the Postal Service, you're never left in the dark.
Yes, your package is in L.A. and will be delivered.
Morning.
From just $9.95, we track, we trace, we deliver for you.
Next Saturday, regional action on ABC's college football. There's your lineup. Most of you in the Midwest will watch Notre Dame go in to play Purdue. Check your local listings for the game on your ABC stations and call your cable operator for games available on pay-per-view. Talk about experience here, Mr. Vermeil.
Talk about wins. 441 wins between these two guys. 36 bowl appearances, national championships, and great teachers.
You're younger than both of them, and you're up here with me.
Yeah, well, I'm not as tough as either one of them.
Burmeister deep down the middle, goes for the home run, intercepted Hammonds. Hammonds picks it off. To the 15, 20. Well, they went to the well one time too often, and Hammonds made them pay.
Well, the game plan was to try to attract the safeties up, Lee Rubin and Derek Bonner with play action, because they felt they were very aggressive, and this is what they tried to do. They actually had the safety up there, but Rubin was in good position. And you'll have to remember when Rubin, he goes up for the highest point, gets the ball, when he intercepts, he has been a running back at Penn State. So he now turns on his offensive skills, averaged over 5 yards a carry as a running back.
Kajana Carter, number 32, the tailback. Saka to throw out of that formation on first down to his tight end, Kyle Brady. Boone and Porter there defensively for the Hawks. 22-yard gain.
Very, very, very good action. See, they got the tight end down the seam off that play action. Here he is coming off in the seam. You'll see the safeties rotate out there, going two deep zones. See, that's just the pattern you want against that. See, no safeties there. Throws the linebackers. Excellent throw. Good rhythm.
Out of the I formation, Carter, big hole, explodes inside the 25-yard line where Porter makes a touchdown-saving stop. 24 yards.
When a hole opens up that big, many times the defender stunts his way out of it. You'll see this low shot here, deep handoff in the eye, and you see a real nice block there that time by Jeff Harding's number 50. It opened that hole up.
Now Stephen Pitts checks in. Swarming defense. Crane, the nose man, number 88, one of the defenders on the previous two plays. Penn State with 46 yards of offense. A pass to the tight end and a run by the fresh tailback.
You know, and I think that was important for Saka to come up with a good throw like that, because he had the bad experience last week in trying to force the ball and not take what the defense gave him. He threw the interception, come out and hit that big one. That could lift him just a little bit.
Iowa's defense reeling for the first time. Carter again picks his way to daylight. Carter to the 10-yard line, and Pat Boone, left side of the offensive line, Dick.
Yeah, again, good job by the inside Bucky Greeley, Mike Malinowski, and Jeff Hardings. You'll see the ball come right at you. Now watch the block there. There's number 56, Wiedemans. He gets him tied up. You don't have to knock them off the ball. Just keep them where they're lined up and give a good running back a chance to find the crack.
Giving him a lift. Carter has. Another first down. This time the defense holds. Parker Wilderman, the nose man.
Well, Fran Ganter, the offensive coordinator for Joe Paterno at Penn State, said they definitely want to emphasize that fullback up inside. Now, sometimes that pays off later in the ball game when you start getting those defensive line techniques tightened up in there. Then it makes it a little bit easier to go outside like they did last week so efficiently.
Let's see what Joe comes up with here. Second down. Saka's going to throw for it. Offensive line gives him all day. Can he find anybody? Nope, he's going to throw it away.
Geez, Brent, I mean, he blew that one. Justin Williams was wide open in the end zone, and for some reason, Saka didn't find him. My gosh. John, when you watch the tapes on Monday, you're going to be mad at yourself. There were 6 points. Look at Fran Ganter. He's saying, I can't believe he didn't see him. Now, look down the middle. Freeze it right there. Here he is right here. See, he just didn't see him. Now, what I don't know standing up here is what the progression of the pattern was.
Third down. Again, Saka. Gonna roll to the right. Gonna keep it to the 3 and down with Larry Blue hanging on.
This is one dimension that Saka can add to your offense. The mobility that he has. Plus, Brent, I read him as a real tough guy, just like his brother. His brother Tony was a tough guy, and not always the most finesse within his game, but tough.
The field goal team come in. This is a big moment now for Craig Fayak. Fayak missed one that would have put USC out of its misery last week. Instead, they've stayed alive and almost upset the Nittany Lions. 20-yarder. Good. That is a big one for Craig Fayak's confidence. And Joe Paterno.
Hey, you know, I have never seen Coach Paterno more relaxed than I found him in visiting him with him last night. He says he hasn't had as much fun coaching a specific football team in years as he's having and enjoying the experience with this group. He says, we don't have many guys all filled up with themselves. They're just enjoyable to coach, and he says, no question at all as how they're going to play. They'll play hard every Saturday.
And if they don't, he gets the whip out a little bit, doesn't he?
Hey, I'll tell you, nobody does a much better job.
At the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team, and for the 23rd year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of both Penn State and Iowa. Brett Conway on the field for the Nittany Lions. They bring a freshman in here to do a little kicking off, Dick.
Yeah, maybe taking a little pressure off Fayak.
Well, it was that first down 22-yarder. Saka to Brady that loosened things up a little bit.
You won't see a lot of double zone, I think, from Iowa because of that threat. You know, I wouldn't doubt that's an audible. When they pre-snap look and see that, Brent, they go with that kind of action.
Hawkeyes with some speed back on the goal line. Willie Guy and Cedric Shaw, the freshman. Good kickoff. Young man with a strong leg. John Saunders, what's happening down there at the Swamp today?
Well, as you know, Brent, it's a big matchup in the SEC East. Danny Werfel, the freshman quarterback, 8 yards here. to Aubrey Hill. The touchdown, 7-0. Florida now has the lead over Tennessee. Wisconsin and Iowa State, not even close right now, 28-0. We told you San Diego State and Air Force have resumed. Now it's a hailstorm along with the rain, so we'll keep you updated. They may suspend again. Back to you.
All right, John. Dick Vermeil, you promised me Tennessee would beat the Gators today.
Well, I just thought that, you know, with the veteran quarterback coming back going against a freshman, all odds would be in their favor.
Cedric Shaw with the quickness, getting to the corner and out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Lee Rubin was there.
Good job of defense by Jeff Perry, the big defensive end in that situation. Tight end, Slutzker tried to hook him. He couldn't do it. He maintained leverage. Good fundamental coaching by the linebacker coach, Tom Bradley.
As you watch this Penn State defense, a lot of pressure up front.
Very good quickness in Lou Benfatti, Eric Ravati, and I mean, well, that's the pizza section right there, those guys, huh? Joe doesn't recruit them unless they're Italian.
Lou Benfatti. Isn't it about time that someone named Benfatti gets some votes for the Heisman? Get off these quarterbacks and running backs. Let's hear it for a real football player. Watch down at that defensive line now. Burmeister. Complete. Willie Guy. First down. Come on, Benfatti. You can whip two of these guys. Let's see it.
It's tough. Now you're going to see Benfatti right here, and both the offensive guard and center are going to take him on. Two guys. That's tough. But that also shows respect. But they aren't going to be able to do that in every pass protection scheme. So you can still expect to see Benfatti in that backfield.
This Hawkeye offensive line has been holding up. Casey Wigman there at center. He was working on Benfatti. They run a delay with Shaw. Shaw gets outside the defensive line. Cedric Shaw to the corner. Cedric Shaw busts one before Lee Rubin can push him out of bounds. Nice run by the freshman.
You know, again, a delayed action like that got the rush upfield, but really the key to that play was Kent Call. The fullback, number 31, did an excellent job of blocking as he cleared around the corner in leading. And now you follow him right here and just watch what he does. You don't run a play this cleanly unless you get up. See that knockdown block right there? Excellent job. And then a good block by old Fritz out there, number 67.
And Joe Pa makes a nice catch over there on the far side.
You know, Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator for Penn State, was concerned with approaching defensively today because he didn't know what he was going to see. If he based it on what he's seen the last two ball games, it was run, and an occasional pass. But he said, we went all the way back through all last year's tape to really formulate our game plan.
Dick, that was a very late flag on Iowa. Very late. This ball's come back to the 41-yard line.
I didn't see it thrown.
Our referee is Dick Honig. And what's up, Dick? Offensive face mask penalty. Did he grab him going out of bounds over there on that?
I didn't see it, Brent. Most of the time, offensive face masks are within the offensive line play, and you're using your hands, and they go up underneath the defender's face.
The only reason I raise that is that the flag came late. Yeah. Let's take a look here. I want you to look out of bounds, Dick, and watch and see if this wasn't the incident.
There it is right there. There it is right there. Right here. That's where it existed right there. He got his face on him and then had a hold of the mask.
Oh, if you're going to get a face mask, don't be running into the arms of Joe Paterno. Did you see that? Hey, he was catching and screaming, get me the official, throw the flag, do everything. You can't be heading. Oh, look at this. Now look at it. He's
Coach
going
Joe.
right to the coach. Look at Coach says throw it. Come on.
Hey, Joe has pretty good foot speed for 67 years old. You know that?
Now this is second and short. As the result of the penalty out of bounds, it comes back to the 41. King Shaw again. Burmeister off a pump fake. Now deep down the right side. And almost a circus catch. Incomplete. That was some effort down there as Harold Jasper went up in the air.
That was a quick out and up move, and he actually had that and lost it on the way. You know, Brent, I really believe on second and short you don't use that kind of play, because on second and short, defenders are thinking about some kind of a play that you would use on a waist down. I would use something like that on a down that you might get the man-to-man coverage type situation. See that? He just backed off playing zone looking for the unusual.
He almost came up with a circus grab, didn't he, Dick?
He did. He had it for a second there.
Well, let's see if they pound for the first down here on 3rd and 1. Burmeister keeps it. First down, Hawks. Penn State leading Iowa by a field goal. Big Ten fans know the significance here. The 11th team into the conference. Penn State with its first road game. The Nittany Lions already a winner over Minnesota. 1-0. And this their second conference game of the year. First down for the Hawks. Mark Russell in motion. Here now is the toss to King. King gets it turned back upfield. Cliff King, the fullback. Tony Pittman tripping him up.
You know, in the weeks past and watching these people play on tape, every time they run a man in motion, they have run the ball in that direction. Now, that should not be a surprise to Penn State. You'd think they'd get that defense flowing that way and prevent this kind of breakout and running. Every time they ran the ball, they ran it toward the man in motion.
King over to the Iowa sideline. The Nittany Lion defense ready for another second and short. Ryan Terry into the backfield. Terry, first down. Still going. Terry, how far he was down. Ball was whistled down. Lee Rubin, the defender there.
Grant, I mentioned every time they run the man in motion, they've been running it to him. Oh, Fox, Hayden Fry. Here comes the man in motion this way. What do? They run this way. They change it up. Good game planning. Good trap block right there by old Fritz, number 67. Excellent running by Ryan Terry. The first 100-yard rusher since 1991 Holiday Bowl.
He's ready again on first down. He gets the call. Can he get outside on that left side? Penn State having some defensive problems on their right side, Dick.
Rob Holmgren, the outside linebacker, playing linebacker for his first time. He's been a wide receiver, number 80. He got hooked inside. He's the leverage guy. He has to keep his body in position to turn that play back inside. He didn't get it done, and he's being taken out.
Coaches will have a talk with him about that. They've gone a couple of times to the well over there. Sandusky very aware of it.
And they think Holmberg is going to be a fine linebacker, but this is only the third time he's ever played linebacker.
Colorado State hanging tough against BYU. That surprises some of the experts. 4 down linemen for the Nittany Lions. And a slam Cliff King down. Lou Benpatty was there.
Lou Benpatty. I really enjoy watching him play football. First team All-East last year. 6 career sacks, 122 tackles. I really think he's going to end up playing on Sunday for a long time. Not a great pass rusher yet. Working on that. A little bit short, but extremely intense.
Got the grass stains on the jersey.
His dad was a high school football coach. Now I think he's just coaching wrestling. So he's been around the atmosphere of athletics all his life.
Terry and King are the running backs. That's Terry stepping in motion. The fullback, King. He's running very well today. First down, Hawkeyes. And let's check in with John Saunders. John?
Brent, San Diego State and Air Force, they had to suspend this game before they even got it started. You see the teams leaving the field. Bad lightning up there. And now, as a wise man once said, you're looking alive at San Diego State and Air Force, and the rain is still coming down. They may have to suspend it again. Right now, it is scoreless. We will keep you updated. Right now, Brent, back to you.
That sounded good, John. You were looking live at that. Keep us up to date on that one, partner. Here it's 3-0, but the Hawks are driving. Down to the 26-yard line. Paul Burmeister, the senior from Iowa City, is going to put it up. incomplete. Defense was there. Lee Rubin and one of the linebackers had dropped off into coverage, Brian Gelsheiser.
Jerry Sandusky brought some extra people in the pass rush. Rather than just going with 4 people, he brought 6 people, including the outside linebackers, and that's why he had to get rid of that ball quickly.
Tyoka Jackson, he's been a good one for Sandusky on that defensive line.
There's another guy that's been a good one, Jerry Sandusky. Talk about a loyal, great assistant football coach.
He'll retire before Paterno. In around.
Got it.
They're going to bring it. Anthony Dean inside the 20-yard line. Gelsheiser, the middle linebacker, takes the wide man down.
You know, a linebacker that can run can prevent the big play. Now, you'll see Gelsheiser right here. See, now watch him react to the run first. See, he'll react. He sees it. He's going with it. There's the reverse. Now, all of a sudden, who's going to come over and make the play? Brandon turned him back in. There's Gelsheiser. Inside backers have to be able to run.
The end of the first quarter. Welcome Penn State to the Big Ten.
Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
And now for some thin, different.
New Domino's Thin Crust Pizza.
It's really something.
We're talking thin crust pizza. A crispy, crunchy crust pizza. And with all your favorite toppings, it's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way. In other words, all right. Put that snap back in your life. Now, with any thin crust pizza, you'll get an order of Domino's Twisty Bread free. New Thin Crust Pizza with a twist.
Something for nothing when you call Domino's. It's thin happening.
You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire. You'd be so nice. You'd be paradise to come home to.
Introducing Business Saver. Free faxes, movie, fitness center, and free local calls. And most Hiltons proudly offer AT&T long-distance service. Business Saver.
A leader in retirement planning. A pioneer in managed health care. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock.
70,397 on hand here in Iowa City. This is one of the great college settings in America. Thousands of students down here from Chicago and other metropolitan areas in the Midwest. And believe me, this is one of the best kept secrets in all of college. What a great environment. The Hawkeyes on the move. Terry and King, the running backs. Paul Burmeister, who grew up in this city, trailing the Nittany Lions by a field goal. Throws the swing pass out to Terry. Terry to the 18-yard line, and 3 Nittany Lions, including Thad Brennan, number 30, bringing him down.
Well, they're starting to block that off defensive rush pretty good. Matt Purdy, the offensive left guard, number 69, was blocking that time on Ben Fatty and did a pretty good job, allowed the ball to get off.
Field goal time for the Hawks.
This guy right now is 5 of 5 field goals this year. He's really hot.
Todd Romano, the 6th one coming up, and it's a big one, 36 yards out. And he is finally missed. Romano misses a 36-yarder. Fayak has already kicked a field goal for Penn State. That's the difference.
Boy, in tight football games, when people that you count on to come up with the big play, they don't come up with them, the head coaches like Hayden Fry, as you see on the screen, you know, you can only do so much.
A new quarterback will come in for a series for Penn State. Kerry Collins, who lost out because of that injured thumb. That's why John Sacca stayed in command of this team this year. Kerry Collins, known as a big playmaker, coming in. Dick?
Brent, you and I saw him rally the team the second half against West Virginia last year. Remember? He did an outstanding job. He throws the ball long real well, has a very strong arm, looks like a prototype guy. I don't think he's as mobile, anywhere close to as mobile as John Sacca.
Has a big opportunity, though. Sacca 1 of 6, 22 yards. That to the tight end. So Collins in for his first series. And he'll hand it off to Carter, who's been running well here for the Nittany Lions, to the 26, and Jeff Kerwin.
Both teams have had pretty good drives. As you look at the numbers, Iowa's in total yards leading. Of course, they have the 1 turnover. Rush yards pretty equal. Pass yards, Iowa. Therefore, the substitution at the quarterback position.
The big difference in the game, Iowa missed its field goal opportunity. Penn State and Sacca led theirs. They hit it 3-0. Now a new quarterback, and Carter is brought down. Blue is all over the place.
He's played well, you know, and he came in here. He's a senior out of Hempstead, New York, and he's fired up about playing against these guys from the East. That's where he was raised.
Now, we've been raving about Ben Fatty. Let's not overlook that stallion in this Iowa defensive line, number 64, young man by the name of Mike Wells, who gets the job done for the Hawkeyes. And there's Mike.
They move him around, too, to sort of get him isolated up on different people. Excellent football player.
Flags all over.
You know, I'm a little bit confused in the substituting the quarterback, Brent, in that Sacca just came off his best drive. You know, he took him down the field and got the field goal. I would have thought they felt he had rhythm and would let him go ahead and play. Now this might disrupt him. What have we got going here?
Dead ball, false start, on the offense, 5 yards.
Calm down, he's saying. Just calm down. We'll be okay.
Sacca's watching Collins.
Well, he had that poor ball game last week after having an outstanding game the week before.
Collins away from the defender, throws high and incomplete. LaBarca. And let's go to John Saunders. John.
Brent, Syracuse in Texas. Al Wooten on the 1-yard line bashes his way across in the touchdown run. It's 7-3. The Orange with the lead. Tennessee and Florida. The Gators now up 14-0. Right.
John, I want to tell you, Steve Spurrier is a magician down there. He hasn't lost a game down in Gainesville. Now he's up against a very talented Heath Schuler in Tennessee, and he's doing a number. And here, it was Iowa's defense doing a number. This is Willie Guy returning one for the Hawks. And midfield, out of bounds. Willie Smith popped him. Penn State 3, Iowa nothing. The Hawkeyes coming up.
honey. We're leaving in 10 minutes.
While virtual reality isn't quite here yet, the car is. The new Accord from Honda.
This is a Goodyear Aquatread, and this is a gallon of water. Aquatread's deep groove design channels water away. At highway speeds, it moves a gallon of water every second for outstanding wet traction. Aquatread, only from Goodyear.
Coming September 24th. Face the pain. Fight the pressure. Feel the power. And get with the program. Rated R.
National powers collide as the Miami Hurricanes invade Colorado. Notre Dame tackles Purdue. Or UCLA meets Stanford next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions open with wins over Minnesota and the University of Southern California. 1-0 in the conference, and now they come into Iowa City on an overcast day. The Hawkeyes operating on a short field. Moving in for the Nittany Lion 46-yard line. Cedric Shaw could not elude the three defenders led by Jackson, who again is playing a whale of a game on that Nittany Lion defensive front.
You know, in his first name, his parents named him Toyoka because it means one who gives joy. But I'll tell you, he doesn't bring any joy to those running backs or offensive linemen that try to block him. He's an ornery son of a gun.
Very talented defensive line. Burmeister and the Hawkeyes have been throwing frequently. He'll do it here again. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it away. He threw it out of bounds.
Intentionally grounded.
Atkins on him.
That's intentionally grounding the ball right there. Toyoka forced him out of the pocket to the right side of your screen. You'll see Toyoka number 97 appear.
The reason why they didn't call intentional grounding, they had blown the whistle back on the 46-yard line, so it's a loss of 8 yards on the play. The play had been whistled down before he threw the ball out of bounds.
They're on 46. Then it's a quick whistle. A very quick whistle. And no wonder Joe was so upset.
From the shotgun, Burmeister. Again, defensive pressure. The Iowa offensive line starting to break down now, and Atkins is starting to rumble.
Todd Atkins is substituted in there for Eric Ravati at the right defensive tackle spot and doing a real good job. See, Coach Joe is rotating his people in there, keeping them fresh. Atkins is just a young football player. He's got a couple years of eligibility left, making a big play.
Two of them back-to-back. 18 yards and losses. Forces a punt by Gallery.
That's a lousy punt.
And Ingram with the fair catch at the 30-yard line. Penn State 3, Iowa nothing.
Hitachi. Oh, wait, that's my phone. I'll connect you now.
Bonjour, here are the drawings.
Looks good from here.
Hello.
Okay, goodbye.
Take care.
Au revoir.
Hitachi makes digital communication systems and 20,000 other amazing products. Hitachi.
Hitachi. Oh, wait, I should know what they make. I mean, I shop all the time.
Hitachi makes escalators and 20,000 other sophisticated products. Hitachi.
Ignition? Check. Tachometer? Check. Anti-lock brakes? Check. Air conditioning? Check. Dual airbags? Check. Check. Cruise control? Check. Power sunroof? Check. 7-speaker stereo? Check. 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 Check.
Check. The Prelude VTEC from Honda. Check it out.
Tony and Diane get regular insurance checkups, just like they get regular medical checkups. I'm State Farm Agent Carlos Bermudez. I have been their State Farm agent 7 years. A family insurance checkup helps them make sure all their coverages are up to date. It's also a good time to explore options, like how their life insurance plan can be adapted to help with their daughter's college education. I think the family insurance checkup is something everybody can feel good about.
State Farm is there.
give you an idea about the folks here in Iowa. Last year they raised a lot of money and food products, sent it down to Miami, and then of course this summer this area racked by the floods. And today down in Miami, those folks are going to reciprocate. Money being raised at the Hurricanes game against Virginia Tech will be sent up here to aid some of the flood victims, giving you an idea of how much moisture has fallen here in Iowa City. 50 of 80 days since July it has rained. It has not rained, well, we had a few drops this morning, but nothing to mention, although it remains overcast and rain forecast for later today. Collins still in at quarterback and throws to one of his back. Penalty flag is down on the field. We have a penalty flag. Julie Moran, who you got with you?
I'm with a die-hard Hawkeye fan. Makes this trek from Hollywood to see these games. Tom Arnold, how many games a year do you see?
Last year I saw 4. Hopefully I'll be able to say 3 or 4 this year.
Now, I heard a little scoop about the Miami game. You paid someone to take out the mascot.
Well, what happened was Miami was beating us real bad. We had a bad year last year, and Herky the Hawk, our mascot, I was in fear of his safety. The Miami mascot was taunting him, and so I paid a guy to go out and tackle him, and even the score.
Did you pay to get him out of jail, too?
Yeah, I had to pay to get him out of jail, too.
But in all seriousness, you and Roseanne really add a lot to this community. You've built homes, restaurants, newspapers. Tell us about that.
Well, we love this whole state of Iowa. I went to school here, and down in Ottumwa, where I went to high school. I went to the high school game last night. They won, by the way. But, yeah, we love this whole state and this area, and we got to, you know, it's just a great place to be. You can tell that by being here. They're great. The fans are the best here, too. They're great.
Thanks for stopping by, Tom.
Thanks for having me by. Go Hawks.
Kind of interesting seeing Tom in front of an ABC microphone again. Brian Mill caught that pass coming out of the backfield, number 22.
The holding penalty moved him all the way back.
Nullified as the result of the penalty. Ball back to the 16-yard line, and here's Carter. And Carter wrapped up by Crane, the nose man. Maurier Crane, the senior, he jarred the ball loose in that final play offensively for the Cyclones of Iowa State last week.
He's a long ways from home, too, Brent. Waco, Texas. I think that the fact that Hayden Fry coached at SMU and North Texas State and everything, it really educated him in regard to the recruiting of that state. And he always has a few guys that play well from Texas on his roster.
2nd and 15. Nittany Lions lead it by a field goal. Off a fake, it is Collins on the run, incomplete, and Bobby Diaco there defensively.
Again, good pressure. We give Maurier Crane a little credit, and what's he do? He must have heard you, Brent. He goes ahead, he gets good pressure, forces him outside the pocket, has to throw on the run, throws it in accurately. Incomplete pass.
That's some cast he's got as a weapon there on the left arm.
Well, they have to sponge those casts, anything like that. They can't wear a hard cast.
3rd and 15. Offensive line holds up, and underneath the chip LaBarca, and out of bounds with Scott Plate there.
Now, people watching this are going to say, why on 3rd and 15 would they throw an underneath pattern? He didn't want to throw underneath. The coverage took the deeper pattern away. He intelligently threw the ball to the open person underneath the coverage. The thing he did, though, is give his punter a chance to really bang it away and end up with better field position.
B.J. Masillo, punt number 4 coming up. And Willie Guy is back.
Nice punt.
Fair catch at the 24-yard line.
See, that's the disadvantage of only having one safety back there. He should not have fair caught that football. He should have taken off and run with it. But with no one else there to tell him, anyone else coming around him to cover, he has to use his judgment. I think that was bad judgment.
Interesting matchup Monday night on ABC, huh? John Elway and the revitalized Denver Broncos go into Kansas City. You know, the Broncos have never played well historically on a carpet. Now it's Joe Montana due to come back. 9 Eastern time. It'll be the Chiefs and the Broncos Monday night on ABC. Ryan Terry and Cliff King are in at running back. This is Terry. Terry bolts to a hole. Dingle making the stop.
I tell you, the inside linebacker moved him set out of the play. Holmgren moved over just a little too far and allowed that cutback lane. Now you see, left-hand corner of your screen, Brian Holmgren. Now watch him move. Holmberg it is. Now watch him move. See, he moves a little too hard, and they cut up right up underneath him. See, he opened up that gap himself. A little too anxious.
They come back with Terry.
32 Lions, Terry.
Boy,
Monahan.
that's what's tough, Brent, on young linebackers, is you have a tendency to want to overreact and move and get out of position in relationship to the football, and you give them the cutbacks. Tough to discipline that.
Gain of 5, second down, 5.
Hawkeyes looking for that big play that'll get them right back in this. Down by a field goal. Penn State having used 2 quarterbacks in this game. 4 down linemen for the Nittany Lions. Terry calls for a couple of yards.
Boy, Eric Clare, the defensive left tackle, number 89, really unloaded on the offensive right guard and knocked him all the way back into the backfield. Just destroyed that offensive play. Nice job by Eric Clare. They call him Eclair, not Chocolate Eclair. Boy, that was a nice play, young man.
Needing 5 yards this time. Audible. Puts his backs into the eye. Play fake out of it. Going down. Fumble! Iowa pounces on it finally.
Boy, that ball got batted around there. I know this. Eric Ravati was the defensive lineman that came around and got up the back of Paul Burmeister. Good pressure by Eric Ravati. You'll see him coming around the left side of your screen here. He's one-on-one situation with Hal Matty. Here's Ravati, here's Matty right here. In a one-on-one pass rush, action away from him.
44.
See, there's the fake. Now he gets him. Now you'll see. He's pausing there. He wanted to go down the middle. Here comes Ravati, and he rolls right up behind him. Ooh, sometimes that can hurt the ankles.
Timeout, Iowa. 7:21 to go in the first half. Penn State leading 3-0. Story so far that Penn State has used 2 quarterbacks. John Saka, the starter, got a field goal out of his performance, and then Joe Paterno turned it over to Kerry Collins for a while. The Nittany Lions due to get it back here at the 7:20 mark, but so far against Hayden Fry, it has been that Nittany Lion defense doing a job against Paul Burmeister. There's the Saka who started for Penn State.
Overall, I think both defensive teams have done a pretty good job, you know, and I know Sandusky from Penn State was really concerned that he'd see so many different things in this ball game that they haven't shown in the previous 2 games, that it would be hard for his young linebackers to adjust. But so far, I think they've done a good job.
Well, tonight, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks aren't sleepless in Seattle. They're here in the network premiere of Joe versus the Volcano. It's the ABC Saturday night movie. Hosted by Paula Poundstone. Who is Paula Poundstone? Comedian. Thank you very much. That's Kim Belton, my producer, keeping me up to date on what's going on in the contemporary world.
There is the, if he can feel that, that's the time you want to return. You don't normally want to take that ball back there, Brent, but it got there too quick. Normally, you'll let that ball go in the end zone, but it was a long line drive. You might as well take a shot with it.
That was Bobby Ingram of Penn State.
My family has been brewing beer around here for 120 years. Every now and then, I think that's a big accomplishment. That's when it's time to come out here. It's nice to get a little perspective.
Gosh, the sky is so clear.
Hey, look, a shooting star.
That means you're gonna go on a trip.
No, it doesn't. It means you're supposed to make a wish. Hey, Gene, what would you wish for?
Well, I wish my radio would work better.
No, really.
Well, I wish I could go to some really neat places.
I'm going to St. Louis with my cousins.
And I want to go to college and learn about things you kind of don't understand. And I'd like to be in a ticker tape parade and meet a president. And I'd like to be able to fly.
For over 150 years, America's universities have given kids from everywhere the chance to pursue their dreams through an education. And what their dreams have given back to us is immeasurable.
Gosh, Gene, what are you going to ask for next?
The moon?
Kerry Collins still in at quarterback for Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions. Penn State leading Iowa here in Iowa City by a field goal. Brian Millen, number 22, continues to stay in that backfield as the fullback.
Got a safety blitz.
Carter gets outside against that blitz for a big gain. Carter gets to the left and outside.
They anticipated runoff tackle out of the I formation. They ran a strong safety blitz. You'll see him come from the left side of your screen over here. He'll come to the, there he is, number 4, Pat Boone coming in there, but he handed the ball off. Good deception.
And Millen with some excellent blocking. Carter on the day after that 28-yard gain, 6 carries for 78 yards, and Florida big over Tennessee. Stephen Pitts, now the tailback. Off a fake by Collins, incomplete, and a receiver wide open and missed his tight end Brady.
You know what mistake he made? Collins was moving to his right, his tight end was moving to his right, and he led him. When you're both moving, you don't lead him, you throw it right at him. He threw it out in front of him, he led him, he didn't need to, incomplete pass. These guys take their football serious. Better see your dentist.
Yes, the Nittany Lions possession. A field goal to show for 5 possessions. This the 3rd possession for Collins and the offense. Nothing doing that time. Swarmed by Crane and the rest of the Hawk defense.
Real nice job by Mike Wells, who this time is playing defensive left tackle. He reads the counter, works inside out on the play. You'll see him playing right here. The action starts away from him, then comes back. See, now see him 64. He reads the guard. He fights him off. He works inside out. Freeze it right there. Freeze it right there. See, perfect position. Nice defense. Good job.
A yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 11 for Penn State. Collins with time. Deflected, incomplete, and Plate almost got the ricochet as LaBarca could not hold on.
LaBarca has very, very sure hands. Now, he hasn't caught many balls in his career. A good defensive series. Again, stopping that counter play, forcing them into 3rd and real long. Tough to convert that 3rd and 11 situation.
Hey, you got to keep pushing in the middle, man. You got to make something. Push a little bit. You got to push a little bit.
Masillo running to Guy. I'll let this one roll dead. Shelley Hammonds for the Nittany Lions, and a reminder that coming up at halftime on the Prudential Halftime Report, John will have the scores and highlights from all of the games. Interview Colorado head coach Bill McCartney. The Buffaloes take on Stanford tonight, and we'll have a report on the opening weekend of the Ivy League season. Baseball action. That's what we've got here, a 3-0 score with Penn State over Iowa. Toronto, a winner in the American League East, 5-1. Giants coming to life a little bit in Cincinnati. Here it is Cedric Shaw getting the handoff, and the first man who hit him was Bonner. Derek Bonner came up for the Nittany Lions and struck the first blow.
When you talk about Derek Bonner, you're talking about a total student athlete. Outstanding student. Went to school there, Brent, with a straight 4.0 out of high school. Straight A's. Can't do much better than that. And then he plays defense equally as well.
Very impressive Penn State defense. Brian Monahan cleaning up on that play behind Bonner.
He has very little experience. He's a senior getting his opportunity to play, and he's playing well.
Eric Clare, number 89, has turned in several big-time plays. This time the Iowa offensive line holds up beautifully. And a completed pass to Harold Jasper. First down, Iowa.
See, Brent, you called that perfectly. You said the offensive line is holding up. See, that pattern takes time to develop. See, now you'll see the coverage downfield. They go into a double zone. The safeties will divide. See, the pass rush is picked up inside. The stunts are picked up. Patience. There he finds the hole in there. Took time. Good pass protection. Completed pass.
The best pass rusher Penn State's had today has been Todd Atkins, not on the field in that last play. Shaw and King on a little delay action fake. Burn and loose. Penn State recovers in the air. Eric Clare, fumble now, or is it down? Down. Ball is down. Intercepted pass for big Eric Clare.
They ran a play-action draw pass, faking the draw, trying to get the ball downfield. Eric Clare just kept coming. See, there's the fake. He's got the ball on his hip. Now he gets it up there. He still has it in one hand. Now there comes the guy. Ravati comes around number 94 and strips him a la Lawrence Taylor. There that is. He was down. Big play.
Big break for the Nittany Lions. Inside of 5 minutes against Hayden Fry's defense.
-2 in turnovers already. They came into the ball game +4. Right now, -2. That gets you beat.
O'Neal and Carter are the running backs. Collins still the Penn State quarterback. The toss to Carter. Carter makes his way for a yard. Mike Daly hitting him, linebacker.
You know, we have some real offensive line, defensive line battles going on there. Hardings and Crane are really battling offensive guard against tackle. Penn State 4 giveaways. The defense has only given up the 1 touchdown after the giveaways.
Well, if Penn State's going to use more of its fullback today, as they told you, he'll lead the way for Carter. Carter gets to that corner again, and he's belted out of bounds.
Good job of blocking at the point. Good job of blocking by the fullback, Brian O'Neal. You'll see what I'm talking about here to the left-hand side of your screen. Now, you'll see the good blocking coming off right here like that, and then the lead block by the fullback. See, they've got to get a man in contained position here. He gets out there. Good cleanup right there. See, that gave speed. Now, that gave him a chance to run to the flag.
Marcus Montgomery whacked him out of bounds. 9 carries for 90 yards for Carter, who's been the big runner here. Nittany Lions at the 13. Carter again inside the 10-yard line with Crane hanging on.
Stopped by Crane.
Time left first half. Penn State 3, Iowa nothing.
There's the offensive coordinator right above Coach Yo, Coach Ganter. They call the plays. They're talking to the people in the press box. Dick Anderson is up there, the offensive quarterback coach now. Ken Jackson, the wide receiver coach.
Carter picks his way, stumbles toward the end zone, and is down at the 1-yard line.
Good offensive blocking by the backside guard. Many times the blocking away from the point of attack. See, the ball's going to start in this direction, but the blocking here is critical because he gets the cutback. If you can cut back and have speed to do it and the vision to do it. Now see that block right there? Beautiful. Look at that hole. Good then, innate running skills.
Kajana Carter over 100 yards in the first half. 11 carries for 102. He deserves the nod here on 1st and goal. He's earned it. He stopped that time. Beautiful. Bobby Diaco slipped through. Number 45 got through on the play.
Great defense. That's the way to attack. attack. There's no room down there for sissies. You got to get after him, and boy, did he do it. Wells also number 64. Now watch him shoot the gap. See, they divided right there. The running back missed him. The running back missed him at the point of attack. He has to be able to pick him up. Nice play.
Second and goal and a long yard. Stephen Pitts checks in. O'Neal cut back, touchdown, Penn State. Brian O'Neal, who got into the end zone against Southern Cal, gets in here against Iowa for Joe Paterno. First touchdown of the game. And there's the man who did a lot of the work, congratulating him, Carter.
He just pounds it in there. Now watch this. He gets up right now and says hello to the Penn State fans. They're all sitting right down there. Hello.
And here's Fayak. Perfect. A field goal and an extra point after that miss last week late against Southern Cal. So Fayak's confidence is fine. And now Penn State taking advantage of the Iowa turnovers. 10 points after the 2 turnovers. This time a touchdown.
Brian O'Neal deserves a few good plays. You know, he had back surgery following the 92 season, and then he broke his toe in training camp this year, and he's just really getting healthy right now. So he deserves to have a few things go his way. This is senior year. Here, take another look at what it's like down there in the rough area. Going to hand it ball deep. Here, a little reverse pivot. Give it to him. Good lead block that time. See, he gets his body up in the air. Defenders couldn't stop him. Nice job. He says, hello, Penn State fans.
2.5 minutes, and the Hawkeyes trailing it by 10. Wisconsin beating Iowa State. Northwestern dumping Boston College.
You know, I talked to Coach Coughlin this week, and he was really concerned about going to Northwestern because they had beaten them badly last year, and he knows they were a better team. Wow, that was the score.
73, I believe A&M has on that board right now. UCLA with a lead on Nebraska.
Go Bruins. They're trying to run him out of town. He's going to beat Nebraska.
Here comes Shaw from the 1. 15, 20. Down at the 28-yard line. Well, it was that fierce defensive line rush by the Nittany Lions which set up that touchdown.
And, you know, talking about that rush, many times they have been blocked initially, but the coverage is taking the pattern away, and these kids don't quit. I noticed that in looking at the tapes last week. And in talking with Coach Joe Sarah, who coaches that defensive line, he says these kids are really intense. They just play hard on every snap. And I think that was reflected to me by Joe Paterno last night.
Terry and King are the Iowa running backs. 4 down linemen and an outside linebacker joins the rush. Burmeister dumps it to the fullback, and King out of bounds, chasing him that time was Brian Monahan.
You know, Eric Ravati is just really giving the offensive left tackle from Iowa a real problem. Hal Maddie, the offensive left tackle, is not taking away the inside move, and that's giving him some problems. No huddle attack.
Terry against that delay action, and Jackson makes the stop.
Iowa has 2 timeouts left. They get the first down here.
Stop by number 92, Terry Killens. Up on by Delta Jackson.
Need a first down to stay alive here inside the 2-minute mark. Otherwise, they'll make them punt. Burmeister in trouble and going down again. Monahan.
Outside linebacker. Good defensive call by Jerry Sandusky. Not going to rush with 4. He's going to rush with 5 or 6 this time. Coming right at you now to the right side. You'll see him come. Play action. Takes it a little longer. Here he is right there. He gets around the outside of number 67, Fritz Fakir.
Three sacks here today. Gives us an opportunity to check out what's coming up in prime time.
3 days, decide for yourself about the most compelling new show on television.
I'm hooked into the biggest crime family in the city.
From now on, it's every man for himself.
He whacked my partner, and I want him.
I think I'm in love with you.
NYPD Blue is the season's only groundbreaking series.
I will hold you in contempt. And I hold you in contempt. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
See what it's all about.
I don't want to be alone tonight. I want you to kill him.
Premiering Tuesday, NYPD Blue. Viewer discretion advised.
Penn State leading Iowa late in the first half, 10-0 Nittany Lions. And our man Hayden Fry, he is everywhere here in Iowa City. Every time you look around, I mean, that man working over there in the band after he got his ticket.
He was in the lobby of our hotel this morning.
Ingram is swarmed at the 40. A minute and a half to work with.
Penn State has both timeouts. Now this has been a little test for the quarterback. Which quarterback got the most work in the 2-minute offense this week? Most of the time, 80% of that work goes to your starter.
Collins, Saka watching. He started the game, was in for 3 series and a field goal. Collins now has been on the field. And the Nittany Lions have their touchdown and a 10-0 lead. He'll throw. He has a good deep arm. This is a first down. Ingram, Scott Plate, the defender.
That's the first time they've gotten the ball in a passing game to Ingram. He ran a burst pattern up underneath the rolled up corner and good rhythm. He got it there right on time.
And they got to be careful with Collins in this deep game. Off a nice fake, they'll run Carter, who's had a 100-yard half with Plate holding on and then getting help. Chris Jackson coming over.
Well, Carter had 104 yards last week against USC, and here he is 100 already in the first half. I actually anticipated them rotating those back just a little more than they've been doing, but he has done such a good job. I guess they just figured, you know, we've got a good horse running, keep the saddle on him and let him run.
I'd save the freshman for the fourth quarter like Ohio State did against Washington with Butler by Note last Saturday night. Now it's Collins going to swing it out here to Carter, and Carter's hit by Hartley. Hartley's been very active on special teams here in the first half for Iowa, so it was turnovers which cost them 10 points.
I talked with John Hartley the other day and I was looking at tape. You know, his parents, the Hartley family, have been coming to Iowa to watch football games for 11 years. His brother Chuck and Jim both played here. He said both brothers are a little better students than I am, and my dad's always on me about taking what I do academically as seriously as I do playing linebacker. But he says I have time to improve my grades. But my brothers, they were academic all Big Ten, both of them.
Well, the Penn State alums have shown up here, several thousand on hand in Iowa City, one of the largest alumni bases in the United States. It's a perfect fit. Penn State and the Big Ten are going to be a wonderful relationship. Everybody in the conference happy to have them on board, and I think where it's really going to serve the athletic program at Penn State will be the rest of the teams. Their football program was in excellent shape already, as you know. But think about what it's going to mean to the basketball team. Already recruiting is picked up, I understand. That'll continue to grow. Women's athletics will have a good conference setting for them. Archie and O'Neal are the running backs. So Mike Archie at 5'8" checks in. And now it is Collins with time incomplete. Justin Williams, the intended receiver.
You know, the 2-minute offense like this, Brent, you know, and they're laying the ball off to the back like they did a minute ago. I'd rather see it more in the screen game. So when you do lay it off, you've got a blocker out there in front, and then he has a better chance to advance the football. Right there, that was a very unproductive 2-minute drill.
And Joe is telling Collins that over on the sideline also. Masillo punting. Willie Guy is back deep.
Lousy punt.
Oh, his teammate right on the head. hit him right in the headgear.
No one punched one like that.
Shelley said, wait a minute, that punt's supposed to be 25 yards further downfield.
That's the first.
Maybe ricocheting off my helmet. Where'd that come from?
The ball's dead up where it was touched in the helmet. He said, I didn't do anything wrong, coach. It just hit me in the head. Watch this, coming down the right side of your screen here. Here he is, number 20. Boom! Hey! Whoa! Whoa. I'll use it. Let it go. Doink.
21-yard punt. 48 seconds for Burmeister.
Okay, you can't afford to relax at any time against a Hayden Fry coached football team. I have seen him do some very strange things right before the half, both successfully and negatively.
Against this rush, they may want to think about running the clock out. Every time they line Burmeister up in an obvious pass, here it comes. Now they get some play action fake that time, and then it's bobbled over here by Slutzker.
Boy, he dropped that one. See, he's thinking about catching the ball and getting out of bounds to stop the clock before he catches it. Just, I mean, those things sound so simple, but heck, they do it in the NFL. You know, guys that are making $60, $70 a game.
The Hurricanes with only one touchdown in the first half so far against Virginia Tech, which lit up Pittsburgh last week. And today it was the Buckeyes of Ohio State with 63 points against Johnny Major's defense at Pittsburgh. I believe it was 63-28. John Saunders will have that score coming your way here. Now they're back in the old prevent.
He's not back in audible to run it. No, play action pass.
Against that three-man rush, Burmeister gets it complete. Clock is stopped. Out of bounds. Kent Call, the backup fullback.
See, he saw a double zone defense coming. He audibled, but the linebacker dropped underneath the tight end trying to go down the hole, Brent. Defense did a good job. No place to go. He lays it off.
Run out of bounds on the 33-yard line. Third down, 2.
Very impressive Penn State defense, isn't it?
No, they're excellent. That down 4, they're so quick.
And this time they get a completion.
32 seconds.
Harold Jasper in 30 seconds. At that 47, there's that old prevent defense. Everybody back there and only a three-man rush, giving Burmeister time.
And he threw it up high over the top of the linebackers. They have one timeout left. The clock is stopped. They move the chains. The clock stops until they're set.
Now, right away, Sandusky says, that's enough of that. 4 down linemen on that defensive front for the Nittany Lions. Burmeister hits Shaw.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Shaw doesn't get out of bounds. Oh, you stop it.
That's a freshman, redshirt freshman, making a redshirt freshman mistake. He turned back inside. He lost a lot of seconds then. Had to use his last timeout. You'd like to keep that timeout for the field goal. The scoreboard still shows him with one timeout left, but I don't think that's correct.
Now we get check over here.
Is there
from
one
Mr.
left?
Hill.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hill. Nice to have a good statistician with you once in a
See,
while.
Dick, the scoreboard operator was quicker than you were that time. He had already changed it. Toronto already a winner, staying ahead of the Yankees, the Orioles, and the rest of the pack. The Giants, but who can hold off the rampaging Atlanta Braves? You folks see that 9th inning the other night? Well, that's something.
Yeah, well, how about those Phillies? Don't talk about all these other.
Wait a minute. You see what happened to the Phillies last night?
Well, what the heck? You know, they
lost one up in Montreal, partner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too early for the Braves. That's trouble. Mets could come back. White Sox and Oakland are tied. They're out on the West Coast. White Sox win that one last night.
Hayden Fry was telling me the other day, this is one of the smartest football teams he's coached. There's a lot of real good students scattered all through the offensive and defensive starting football team. They shouldn't make many mental mistakes.
Seconds. Burmeister going down. He's down. The ball is marked down as Terry Killens wraps him up. The 4th sack by this defensive performance here in the first half.
Boy, and he's fresh. You know, they're rotating intelligently. The defensive players rushing the passer. That takes a lot out of you. The most physical thing you do as a football player is rush the passer. Rotating him. They have a fresh rusher in there. He gets the quarterback. You'll see they were all blocking to the left. offensively. You'll see they're crowding over here to the left. They're helping to the left. See him get over here. All the backs are over here. But all of a sudden, here he just keeps coming. Just keeps coming. That's effort, not talent. That's effort.
Killens coming through.
That's a great effort. You know, he's only a sophomore out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Nebraska, UCLA. They were writing them off out there on the West Coast, you know?
No, I'm glad you didn't look quick enough. It's 21-14. Tennessee's back in it.
Hey, don't. Watch out for those bowls.
Here we go. Here we go. Why did I call his attention to that? Well, there's the Penn State pink in that sweatshirt. Now the question is, will Joe Paterno go into that locker room and take the air out of the second half like he did last week and let SC right back in it?
I know it, but he better not take the air out of those sacks. But he's got 4 of them right there. He really, seeing when they're not sacking them, they're pressuring him. What I think Iowa has to do is come with more draws and screens and traps and that kind of thing. Try to get that rush as they get upfield.
Well, from midfield, Burmeister firing out of bounds, and the first half comes to an end. Hold it, there's a flag down at midfield. Hold on here before we go to John Saunders. Got a flag at midfield. Ineligible. Let's go to the locker room. That's the end of the first half. It's 10-0. Great defensive performance by Penn. Brett Musburger. So far in the first half, it was a sensational defense.
Eric Ravati has really put on a good rush as he does in this play right here. He comes around and creates pressure. They haven't been able to block him.
This forces an intercepted pass. That's what the statisticians rule is, and it set up the only touchdown of the first half. And Dick, in this situation, they went to the short man for the burst and the game's only score.
Well, you know, you get the turnover in that short field like that, and you give it to a guy like this. They move the ball right down there. This was their second attempt to get it in there. They got it in the second time.
And it's 10-0. Penn State leading Iowa. The Hawkeyes will kick it off to the Nittany Lions, who are making their first road trip as a member of the Big Ten Conference. Penn State already 1-0, having beaten Minnesota in its season opener. It'll be something for the Nittany Lions if they can get away 2-0 before Michigan and Ohio State even play a conference game. Iowa has upset on its mind here in the second half. Kelly Hammonds will come out from the 10. Hammond with an alley. 45 midfield. Down to the 36-yard line. Caught by Scott Blake.
He got a great moving wedge, shoulder to shoulder. They just opened up a big hole. He broke off it. As you look at this from the end zone, you'll see what I'm talking about. It forms to the left side of your screen. You'll see he's back there, Shelly Hammonds. He takes it on the hash just outside. Now watch that wedge form. Boom, there's a big hole right there. Now he's going back to being the running back he's been there at Penn State rather than the cornerback he's playing today.
Kerry Collins, who came on in relief of John Saka in the first half, will open up the second half. Carter, who had a big first half rushing, gets the first carry and is slammed by the middle of the defense. Mike Daly and Dick, here are the numbers for the first half.
Well, in total offense, they're pretty even. Very, very even, Brent, with 166 for Iowa, 170. But Iowa has thrown the ball well. Penn State has not. Penn State has run the ball well. The difference was that turnover we just showed, really, for the short drive for the touchdown. Plus, Penn State has sacked them 4 times. Penn State has not been sacked.
Number 2, Mike Archie into the Penn State backfield. And Collins to throw it. Going to go deep down the right sideline. Incomplete. Diving attempt there in the end zone by Freddie Scott with Tom Knight defending.
Now, Kerry Collins, Brent, threw this a little too flat. He didn't get it up in the air high enough. No room for the receiver to adjust the ball and run under it. It was thrown over the outside shoulder like it's supposed to be, but you've got to throw that ball up just a little higher and drop it to him.
Penn State 0 of 7 on third down here today. Good job defensively by Knight, who was hanging on. Now it's 3rd and 9. And Collins under siege this time and forced to take off. Here come the Hawks. They bang him out of bounds near the 30. It was Knight again.
Well, we've been raving about the pass rush of the Penn State down 4. Mike Wells heard us. He says, I'm going to show you what I can do. Here he is coming in, causing the quarterback to rush. Here he is, 64, right side of your screen. He goes underneath. He goes underneath Pickett right there, number 69. See, he can run, too. He's forcing him out there. Good thing he lost that 20 pounds in the offseason.
And he did a lot of it running here on the roads around Iowa City during the summer. He led a lot of these Hawkeyes in a conditioning program. This team determined to shed some body fat. 4th down for Penn State after that 54-yard kickoff return. The Lions need 4 to keep it going. Collins gets time this time. All day. Down the middle. He fires for it. Boy, it was the big play man, Bobby Ingram, wrapped up by Jackson.
That was excellent pass protection, but you know, the defensive people actually grabbed the tight end and held on to him. Kyle Brady was fighting his way out of a grip. You see the corners rolled up on him. Now that's Knight, number 8. Now he's playing him man-to-man underneath because he has the safety backing him up. You'll see the safety appear right there. Good throw, good pass protection.
And remember that play for Kerry Collins when you evaluate the Penn State quarterbacks. On 4th and 4, he comes up with a 15-yard gain. Now he goes back to Carter. To Jonna Carter with a 100-yard first half. Hilliard defending for the Hawks.
Kyle Brady must have been upset about how he was held on that last snap, because on this play right here, he came off the ball and just absolutely nailed that linebacker, 95, Larry Blue, to the left side of your screen.
Second down with Carter on the Penn State sideline next to the coach. And they go to his sub, Stephen Pitts, for the touchdown.
Excellent, excellent, excellent block by Kyle Brady, the tight end. Brent, he absolutely annihilated the guy. Now, last week against USC, he blocked extremely well. I saw him at the hotel last night and congratulated him. To the left side of your screen, you'll see what I'm... Look at him blocking down there to the left side right there. And he absolutely annihilates Chris Webb, opens up that big hole. Nice. My gosh. Oh, no wonder they're raving about his blocking ability.
9-yard touchdown by Stephen Pitts. Fayette. Perfect again on an extra point. 17-0. Penn State leading. Hammond's 54-yard kickoff return sets up the touchdown. Lead on Iowa. Oh, and so Joe Paterno decides, I'll be everywhere here.
You can do it, I can do it. Huh?
Brett Conway kicking off for the Lions. And Willie Guy to the 24.
Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown play. Good job of blocking by Kyle Brady. You'll see him right here, block down, seal the defense. You'll see the big tackle right here, Marco Rivera, pull around and hook the outside linebacker, Larry Blue. See, now he's going to hook him in. Now that stretches it. Freeze it right there. Freeze it right there. See how that cut the defense right here? And he finds that lane. Excellent blocking. Good Pickett running.
Now let's take another look at it as they come around the corner and watch the power of Pitts as he barges back and slashes into the end zone for the touchdown. 1st and 10 for Burmeister and the Hawkeyes. Terry is his tailback, gets the first call for Iowa in the second half. Getting to the corner and out near the 40-yard line, Gelsheiser in pursuit.
That's a little different wrinkle with their man-in-motion offense. See, they started the man-in-motion across the formation. They've been running toward the man-in-motion. Then they reverse pivot him and bring him back around and toss the ball behind him. Good call and good design. See, Pitts, key play there, 9-yard run.
Dick, what must Iowa do to get back in this, or can they?
Oh, well, they can, because we've seen them explode. Remember against Michigan a couple of years ago in the second half? What they have to do, I think they have to trap and draw these guys quickly. And
blitz. Terry steps past the linebacker and then gets wrapped up by Lou Benfatti. Well, the top 10 today coming into this week. Everybody ranking Florida State number 1. They'll go later. Alabama with a win, Miami winning, Notre Dame with a victory, Tennessee losing by only by 7, Syracuse ahead. And there you will see a couple of those games later today and the teams that are right. Second down from the shotgun, Burmeister. Burmeister with Benfani hanging on, incomplete to the fullback King.
There's a good adjustment right there, using the shotgun formation on second down. See, that gives a quarterback better vision, a little easier to pass protect it. Great coverage job. See, he couldn't find anybody open to throw the ball to.
Hawkeyes must probe for a big play here on third down. Needing 11 yards. Have to get the ball out to the 47-yard line to keep this going. Both Anthony Dean and Harold Jasper have been able to work their way free if the offensive line can give Burmeister enough time. Let's see if it can hold up against this 4-man rush. He throws quicker that time, but short of the first down. That will not get the job done. Shelly Hammonds was there defensively on Anthony Dean. They wanted Dean to run for the first down that time. So a shorter drop against this defensive pass rush, but that time the secondary would not let him get free.
See, they were playing a man-to-man coverage up short, Brent, and that allowed them to attack that type of pattern because they were backed up by the free safeties.
Nick Gallery punting again. He and Brian Hurley both punted in the first half. And Ingram comes up at the 29-yard line. A 30-yard punt, and the Penn State defense.
If you care about this big, beautiful world, show me.
Don't give me another toxic antifreeze.
Give me something different. Don't just tell me how it protects to 70 below.
And guards against rust?
Any antifreeze can do that. Tell me it's safer for my dog, my family, the kids.
Tell me nothing protects better.
And it's biodegradable.
That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to hear.
New Sierra. It's not just antifreeze, it's safety freeze.
This Lexus LS 400 is about to shift from first to second to third and to fourth. We thought we'd take the opportunity to point this out. It would be so difficult for you to tell on your own.
College football on ABC, brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. And by New Sierra, it's not just antifreeze, it's safety freeze. Well, now here's a fan. He's been coming to Penn State games across America for many a year. Happy to be a member of the Big Ten. He says, I'm one game closer. Look out! Collins did with Larry Blue bashing into him. Let's check in with John Saunders. John?
Brent, Syracuse and Texas. The punt is fielded at the 46, and Mike Adams then with some nice footwork. Watch the move right here. He cuts it back inside. 54 yards on the punt return for a touchdown. And Texas leads Syracuse 18-14. We will keep you updated and follow this story as a top-ranked team could be about to go down. Arizona State and Louisville. Cardinals leading this one 21-10. Right now, Brent, back to you.
John, that's interesting down there in the Southwest. Makovic knows how to move the ball. Syracuse could have some problems defensively. Carter on the toss to the 34-yard line, and Crane brings him down. There's Big Wells again.
He's been a factor in there, and they move him around just enough that you can't get zeroed in on him. Mike Wells, I think the weight he lost has really helped him too, Brent. You know, he dropped quite a few pounds in the offseason. Hasn't lost any strength, though.
Third down coming up. Needing 4 yards. End around. Here comes Ingram. Ingram turns upfield for it. Penalty flag is down. Ingram is out of bounds here on the near side, but there is a penalty flag.
They called the tight end, Kyle Brady, as he blocked the linebacker who went underneath, actually chased the play away, ended up pushing him in the back. That's what they call. You'll see this coming from the end zone on the left side of your screen. See, they start the reverse going. Now, here comes the ball back. Now, follow it back to the left side of the screen here now. You'll see right there. Hold it right there. You'll see right here, he was in the back. They're going to call that. You'll see the flag coming. Boy, that's really tough on the tight end because the ball started away and the linebacker thinks the ball is going away. So he automatically goes underneath in pursuit. Then the ball comes back out. Tight end is in a tough position there.
And Joe yanked him. John Whitman coming out of the field. Kyle Brady over on the sideline.
Joe likes to correct mistakes as soon as he possibly can.
3rd and 18 with Keith Olsommer in at tight end, number 87. Collins throwing for it underneath to Carter. Hartley there defensively. Penn State forced the punt.
You know, they haven't sacked Penn State, but the rush is forcing the quarterback to move and not just sit there and zero in on the pattern. Good job.
This would be an excellent time to try to block a punt.
Well, you know, we've seen a lot of different things go on with the Iowa kicking game back here, some positive, some negative, but it would certainly be a positive thing to try to block it. Here they're coming after it. Didn't get there. Nice punt.
Willie Guy driven back to the 28-yard line. Slips a tackler but cannot get his way turned upfield, surrounded by those vanilla white jerseys. Well, Tuesday night, the wait is over. You can decide for yourself about NYPD Blue. You'll see why when NYPD Blue premieres Tuesday night on ABC. Viewer discretion advised. Don't you love that when they have me say viewer discretion advised? That means we'll all be there, right? Come on. Let's watch it. Can't be that bad. Colin Shaw. Off a play fake, Burmeister slips away, gets pounded and throws complete. Hangs tough, and then Jasper takes a lick from Hammonds.
Good poise by Paul Burmeister. You know, he's been pushed around, he's been hit in the back. He didn't throw the ball all week because he was hit in the back last week, but he doesn't panic here even when the pattern does not develop early. He gets back here. Now look, very good poise, calm. He feels the pressure right there by Jackson 97, steps into the rush of Benfati and throws it complete. Nice job, young man.
And then the receiver at the other end did a good job of hanging on too. A 14-yard gain and a Hawkeye first down. Burmeister up at the 41-yard line against this fierce 4-man Penn State rush. This is superb defensive line. Benfati double-teamed. High incomplete on the far sideline. Antela, wide receiver.
He saw that coverage audible to the quick out. Actually, in that, it's really hard to throw the out to the slot man, the wide outside receiver on the slot. He should go to the guy inside the slot on that. Coach Hayden Fry coming up with a call.
Probing and trying to find the big play here. Trailing by 17 points in the third quarter. Penn State gets a big lift with the second half kickoff. 54-yard return by Shelly Hammonds. Now 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. Burmeister fires complete underneath the coverage to Slutzker. And the tight end with a fine gain before Holmberg wraps him up.
Penn State doing a real good job of mixing up their coverages from 2 deep zones to 2 deep mans to 3 deep to one-on-one coverage with a free safety, mixing them up and doing a good job. Hard to get the ball downfield against that variety of a coverage.
Measurement coming up here.
Still think they've got to get some draws and traps in there. Trap to try to slow down that rush. The trouble sometimes with Penn State rush is the rush is so quick they come around the trap blocks and still make the plays.
What surprises you today about the Big Ten, Dick?
Well, I tell you what surprises me right now is that Penn State's not throwing the ball better. Finals here, Michigan State, Ohio State. That doesn't surprise me. Arizona, Illinois. Hey, Illinois. We know Arizona can play defense.
Indiana beating Kentucky. Wildcats lost a tough one last week. The hands of Florida. Florida and Tennessee. Kent Call in at fullback. 17-0. Penn State leading. First down.
They spread the offensive personnel from sideline to sideline and then run a quarterback sneak.
I'll tell you one thing about Hayden. He's got a tough hombre back there at quarterback.
Yes, he does.
This Burmeister, he stood up to a savage rush here today after taking that whipping you spoke about against Iowa State. After he was injured last week, he got blindsided. I mean to tell you, a defensive end of the Cyclones. He came free on him. It's a wonder he's able to play here in this game, but here he is holding up. Again. And they rule it's free. And wait, I'll tell you, did you see the referee?
Yeah, I think that was an incomplete pass. I think his arm action was going forward, Brent. I don't know. That's how I saw it. But
I was talking about the body language of the referee. The way he was acting, it was like a free ball. Now watch the referee in this picture. He's going to rule that this is a fumble.
Oh, the ball went out of his hand.
Sure it did.
Yeah.
Now keep it going, boys. Keep that replay going for the old coach up here. Where's the ref? Get in there. Get in there now. Look at the ref. Ref's got his hands out. You can tell. The guys are standing there before Weigman says, well, I'll pounce on it. That was a freebie, folks. Shaw, the freshman. Ravati brings him down.
See, they ran a draw trap that time, and it hit just a little bit late. The penetration is so deep by these people.
Oh, they've got some football players in that defensive line.
You know, and they're not big.
Look at these guys.
Ravati at 6'3", 238. Nowadays, that's not big. Ben Foddy at 270. Nowadays, that's not big. Eric Clare at 265 and Toyota Jackson at 265. Not big, but intense and quick.
Yeah, here comes the old prevent. This will be good for about 15 yards. Hey, Coach, 3rd and 20. Time out. Things are not going well for that man here today. Meanwhile, Joe's faring well on his first road game.
Field last night, and I wish I was out there today. But it's, I think another number 16 is going to do well this year.
What do your Hawks have to do to get back into this game?
Well, they have to score soon, number one. But I think they'll get back in it. It's never over with Hayden Fry as the coach, so we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks for stopping by, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Oh, Burmeister trying to come up with a play, but Derek Bonner said, no way. The hero back for the Nittany Lions. And John Saunders, what do you got for us?
Well, Brent, hard to believe, but Nebraska has just 77 yards rushing the ball today. So go to the air, does Tommy Frazier, to Gerald Armstrong, 11 yards, and Nebraska leads it 14-10 now. Right now, Brent, let's take it back to you.
Now, Vermeil, don't be agonizing now over that. No cheering here in the press box. Iowa punting it away to Penn State. Picked up on the move by Ingram. This could be a return. No, Hawks got, yes, he shakes and bakes to the old 37-yard line.
You know, he can shake and break, and they won't be a good offensive football team until they get the ball in Bobby Ingram's hands. I think he's caught one pass so far. He's gifted. They've got to get the ball in his hands. Here's John.
Well, there was the starter, but Penn State has elected to go with a different quarterback. Now, Florida leading by 2 touchdowns again over Tennessee, 28-14. In Texas, up ahead of Syracuse, 21-14. 7 minutes left in the third. Down in Austin. Collins off a fake, over the middle, incomplete.
You know, this is just the opposite approach that Coach Joe Paterno took last week when he got the lead at halftime over SC. He came out and just ran the football. Here he's starting right out here. 1st and 10, throwing play action pass. Take a look at this graphic. Rush yards, rush attempts rather, 148 yards for Penn State, 39 Iowa. 1.4. Last week USC had 1.1. But he has changed the second half approach this week from last week.
2nd and 10 from the 37. Carter, who's been the big ground gainer. Diaco trips him up.
Bill Brazier, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, is starting to commit linebackers to stop the run, and to fill those gaps with blitzing linebackers.
Well, it's interesting that Penn State 0 for 9. George Hill tells me here on 3rd down. But remember, they were 1 for 1 on a big 4th down. They came up with a 15-yard gain, led to a scoring drive. This is 3rd and 6. Collins sends his backs out, deflected, incomplete.
You know, this
Parker Wilderman, the nose man.
They have really cut back on the pass offense. They prepared for the game this week. Last week they felt they gave John Sackett too much, so they cut back. But here they are on 3rd and long situation, running a play-action pass. They really must be limited in what they have in the game plan to be doing that. He got that batted. He's tall enough, he should be able to get it over their hands, so there was good penetration by the pass rush.
Lasilla.
That's a return type ball, Brent.
Well, the guys got it, but way back at the 7-yard line. Hammonds was back there initially, and then he's wrapped up by Willie Smith, the linebacker. Good job of coverage by the Nittany Lions. They lead the Hawkeyes 17-0. Next Saturday, you in the Midwest, come along with us to watch Notre Dame take on Purdue. How good are the Irish this year? And what about Purdue? Can they come back a little bit? Miami, Colorado's a big one, and UCLA, Stanford. What about that one, Dick, out on the West Coast next week?
Well, we saw Stanford against Washington, and they're going to have to be a much better team than they were at that time. Then San Jose State came back last week and forced them to come from behind the final series to win it. So they're struggling right now. Bill Walsh told me they're young and slow.
Terry and King. That's some combination, huh? Young and slow. And this is Terry to the 16-yard line, and Vinny Stewart tackles him.
There was a case of the offense taking advantage of the defensive aggression there at the center. Now watch the center position right here in front of the quarterback. As the center comes off the ball and the nose guard, Benfati goes away, and they get him walled off, and they open up that hole right up inside like that. See, normally when a nose guard goes to one side, the linebacker will compensate, filling that other gap. It didn't get done.
Hawkeyes need to get something on the board. Down toward the 5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Toss to Terry. He'll swing to the right. Nice job. Wow. And the defense over there led by Jeff Perry.
Boy, that was a beautiful job. He played that inside out, moved into the play properly, no cutback lane, didn't overrun it. Good disciplined football. Coach Sarah will put that on the highlight film come this spring.
3rd and 3. Ball at the 18-yard line.
3rd down 3 for the Hawks from the 18.
Neither team is using their running backs efficiently enough in the passing game, Brent, to move the ball, throwing the ball. If they don't do that, neither team is going to have a real good passing attack.
Burmeister, straight back, offensive line gives him time, throws for it. And a nice job by Jasper with Ruben banging on him. Penalty flag is down. Is there a holding call against Iowa on this one? I think the flag was thrown downfield. There goes the referee. Jasper did an excellent job of hanging on to the football that time. So a 1st down. Ruben may have hit him even early, Coach, before he got the ball.
Interference on the defense, declined, catch is good, 1st down.
It didn't make much difference with the penalty there. They end up in the same place if they took the play.
Southpaw over there taking notes on this one.
He had good protection. That time they kept the backs in over there on that left side to get him that time. You see that, I don't know, it didn't look like he got there earlier in that shot.
Burmeister with a 1st and 10, 4:15. Willie Guy to Burmeister's left. cut back by the fullback into the middle of the defense and been petty.
That was an unusual formation that time. They put a wide receiver, Willie Guy, in the backfield as a tailback, then shifted him out. I think they had one of Hayden Fry's exotic plays called. He saw the defense and audibled out it because they didn't want to do it against a man-to-man defense.
Trying to find something.
When you're not winning the battle on the line of scrimmage, it's hard to find anything.
Offensive line holds up. Burmeister fires, and Gelsheiser makes a diving grab. Brian Gelsheiser intercepts for Penn State. That is the third turnover. And against Hayden Fry's Hawkeyes, Penn State cashed in for 10 points on the first two, and that was in the first half.
Turnover, you lose the football. Good pressure. They played man-to-man coverage tight. And he tried to force the ball down the seams. He was good. He had time to throw this one properly, but he didn't see the linebacker that was freed up underneath. His man didn't go out, so he's sitting there free to make the play. Brian Gelsheiser, nice play. First interception in his career. He'll take that one home, put it on the wall.
Big offensive player in high school. Good pair of hands, which he demonstrated. Collins comes out, knocked loose, incompletion.
Geez, the quarterback is totally misreading the coverage. That corner was rolling right up into that, Brent. He's lucky he didn't throw that as an interception. The slant pattern, combination pattern with that one was wide open. He should have thrown the slant.
Tom Knight was the defensive back rolling up.
Hey, that's a gimme for him. Misreading the defense.
Second and 10. And the defense might not have gotten back. Again, Florida, as the Gators explode in Gainesville, 31-14.
Coach Mushberger, you're right again.
Syracuse, Texas tied in the third quarter. I'll tell you, Coach,
I'm not going to argue with you anymore before a game about who's going to win a game.
He lethal down there at home, down there in the swamp.
I know he'd never been beaten down there, but sooner or later you think someone's going to get to him. Coach Gantner right there coordinates the offense. Coach Joe. "67 years old and still coaching."
You'd never know it.
I tell you, I'm envious of that kind of stamina. I wish I had it.
Has a new goal set for himself to get the Nittany Lions out to the Rose Bowl. Got a chance this year with this team. Archie and Whitman. Whitman gets the call. Wrapped up by the right side of the Hawkeye defense, Scott Hosier, number 54 there.
I'll tell you one not many people know. Penn State played in the Rose Bowl one time, lost to USC. The first time the game was played in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. Now, it was 1923.
Joe make that trip?
No, I think he took over. He was just a graduate assistant at that time.
And Hayden says, "I've had enough. Get me behind that camera. I can do better than these guys." Very animated Hayden Fry, been one of our better cameramen here today. Now Collins on the roll, throwing, complete, and that was Freddie Scott.
Brent, some of the good things that are happening in their passing game are almost happening by accident rather than just clean, good execution. I know that the coaches at Penn State are going to be a little bit concerned when they get back and start studying this pass offense again.
Well, meanwhile, up around Evanston, the celebration is probably underway after that enormous upset of one Boston College, Dick.
Yeah, you're a Northwestern alum, man. Come on.
First and 10.
What was your major there?
Line. Second. 2:06. Here's Carter. Cuts through a hole. Carter explodes. Touchdown, Penn State. 23-yard burst by Kajana Carter.
The key to that, again, was the fullback. Yes, good blocking on the line of scrimmage, but the reason it scored was Brian Millen, number 22, the lead fullback. Follow him as he leads this football play and gets the key block downfield. You'll see the cross block on the top. Good blocking right there. Now watch this block right there. Boom! Turns him out, gives him that running lane, speed to burst, touchdown.
Bayak again. Well, Carter with 19 carries for 144 yards and a touchdown. That's a big-time game by him here this afternoon.
You know, when your offense turns the ball over like that and hasn't been efficient at all, pretty quick it drains the defense. No matter how good a defense you've been playing, it takes it out of you. Again, to the right side of your screen, watch the cross block. Boom, freeze it right there. Freeze it right there. You'll saw the tight end block down and the tackle kicking out. And they run right in that hole. Good design. Fullback leads through. Freeze it right there. There's the key block right there. Nice job. You know, the fullback that made that block, Brian Millen, was the NCAA discus champion this past year. I mean, he's a pretty good athlete, that guy.
Kenneth Leonard Carter, nicknamed Kajana, out of Westerville, Ohio. The junior tailback explodes for his biggest day yet at Penn State. He has sent some sparks flying here in Iowa City.
He's fired up. You know, he only played 5 games his senior year in high school, so he wasn't an obvious all-world high school senior player. Good recruiting, good evaluation by Penn State people.
This is Guy. 22-yard line. 24-0, all uphill. Mark Tate making the stop.
Again, those turnovers, you turn the ball over, kills you, but when you turn it over and give the offensive team a short field to play on, you just can't beat anybody. No way. Look at this. 4 plays, 40 yards, touchdown. 40-yard field, not hard to score.
First and 10 for Burmeister and the Hawks. Tennessee punches one in. Schuler with 3 touchdown passes. They probably went for 2, and missed. 31-20, that score now. And Cedric Shaw, the freshman, being featured right now.
He played awfully well last week, Brent. They really like him. He has that good speed. You know, he's a fine quarter miler in high school, ran on a national winning relay team, so he has that speed, and they like his future here.
Second and 3. Time running out in the 3rd. Oh, should have been a first down. That ball was dropped by Slutzker.
A classic example of the tight end taking his eye off the ball before he caught it. You could see it from up here. His head was turning to wheel and run just as the ball hit his hands, therefore broke his concentration. Too bad. You'll see it here now on the left side of the screen. See right there what his head did? You see what his head did? He looked around ready to run the football. Not looking for a tackler, looking for a place to run.
Four-man rush ready again for the Lions. Shaw bolts through. Finally hit by Willie Smith. First down.
You can only do with your hands what your eyes tell you to do in a game of football, and you'll see again. Here's that point. See 84 Slutzker right there. Now watch the ball coming down. Now watch his helmet. See his helmet. Now he looks back for the football.
Throws high and incomplete.
He's got to throw that ball much faster to beat that double zone coverage like that, Brent. See, that safety was rotating over there and had been thrown accurately there. The safety would have been able to knock it down. You see Carell right there, number 17, coming over. You've got to throw that ball in between the rotated corner and the rotating deep safety.
Second down, 10 from the 36.
Boy, the little things it takes to make a passing game go. Boy, it takes experience, it takes time. And Coach Hayden Fry has always had a very fine passing game.
Now, most of the regulars on defense are over there on the far side at the 44-yard line, watching the reserves clean up. That time it was Vinny Stewart.
What happened that time, Burmeister started out from underneath the center too soon, almost didn't get the ball. He almost dropped the ball getting away from. Maybe he saw the rush coming. He's been chased around there pretty good. Now watch as he comes away from the center right now. He's right at, see him reach back and grab the ball. He got it on the second bounce. That really fouls you up. And there's the pass rush right there. That's Vinny Stewart, number 78. He's been a factor every time he's been in there today. They have 4 good starting defensive linemen and 4 good backup defensive linemen making the contribution.
End of the third quarter. 6 sacks, 3 turnovers, and a 24-0 shutout. His defense has been superb. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Yeah, looked like him.
Hey, John Saunders, help us out here, partner. What do you got?
Brent, Syracuse in Texas is turning out to be a great one. Watch Marvin Graves here. Looks like he'll run, then he turns, goes back the other way. Brian Picucci with the catch, down with it in the end zone. They are tied at 21 apiece. We, of course, will keep you updated. And back to you, Brent.
All right, John. We'll keep one eye on that one because here, Penn State
had a good punt.
And its defense dominating. This punt's going to roll dead at about the 48-yard line. Here are the numbers.
Remember, at halftime, there was just a few yards separating total offense here. And here again, Penn State just, 30 yards or so ahead. But the turnover factor right here, look at this. Boy, you're going to get beat when you're -1 most of the time, let alone be -3, especially against a defensive team like Penn State.
And to go along with those 3 turnovers, don't forget the 6 sacks.
They up to 6 now.
And make it 7. Officially. Here's the handoff to Archie.
Ooh, face mask.
Number 2, Mike Archie.
This offensive line, as we said, is not real big, but they're very mobile. They can do whatever they want to do. They can pull them, they can trap them, they can pull them and get wide, they can pull them and run counters.
Tom Knight down.
Tommy Knight is out of Marlton, New Jersey. Just a young sophomore here.
We'll take a break. Tom Knight shaken up, being carried off the field. We certainly hope that that injury is not serious.
Ben, I had an opportunity to visit with Tom Knight the other day and looking at films. He's really considered the outstanding corner they have here. Just a young guy from Marlton, New Jersey. Went to Cherokee High School and came here as an engineering student, had a very good grade point out of high school, and has just recently changed his major and going to go work in toward the business school.
Dick, you and I saw an old friend here, and I was surprised, but you knew why. The former USC coach, Larry Smith, was in Iowa City and is here at this game today.
Well, his son left USC at the end of the spring practice and transferred here. This is Colby Smith, and I walked off the practice field with him the other day, and he said his dad was going to be in town to visit with him.
And we've got Julie Moran's got a story about Old Blue. Julie?
Old Blue.
Well, Brent, one of the bright spots on this Hawkeye defense has been Larry Blue, but this time last year, he was a little worried. Every time he read his name in the newspaper, it said, Senior Larry Blue did this, Senior Larry Blue did that. He was worried. He was redshirted. He thought no one remembered. After the Minnesota game in November, Coach Fry came up, patted him on the back, put his arm around him, and said, son, we'd love having you play here at Iowa. Well, he was a redshirt senior. He's back out here this year. He's one of the captains of this team, and he wanted everyone to know he did not graduate last year. He's back.
Well, he's made his presence known out there a number of times. Some real good defensive plays.
So Knight leaving the field here at Iowa City.
Coach Bill Brazier told me he is one of the guys they have on this football team that will someday play on Sunday rather than Saturday. He's that good.
70,000 on hand here watching the Hawkeyes and the Nittany Lions. Most of them disappointed, although several thousand have traveled in. Loyal Penn State fans, and of course they're some of the most loyal in the country, coming to motor homes, and they enjoyed the tailgating here outside of this beautiful facility in Iowa City today. The weather has held, sun has come out, and the rain, which was predicted yesterday, has held off. Conditions are pretty nice. Everything going well for the folks here, except, you know what, on the scoreboard it's been all Penn State. Defense has done the job. Stephen Pitts into the backfield. This is Pitts gets the toss, and he is wrapped up by the Hawkeye defense.
Mike Daly, the inside linebacker, just went after him. And Tyrone Boudreaux.
Check a little of the baseball action here. Dick, I know you follow the baseball races very carefully. What do you think about the American League East, partner?
I think they ought to live in the West myself.
Don't worry, folks. It's 3rd and 2 now. This is Pitts again on the cutback, slashing through for a first down, and the Nittany Lions keeping this drive going. Last night had an opportunity to do an interesting thing here. There's a writer by the name of W.P. Kinsella. Many of you know him as the author of Shoeless Joe, speaking of baseball, and of course that novel became the Field of Dreams movie. And Kinsella, who attended the University of Iowa workshop here, was reading some of his works last night, and very, very interesting person. Lives up in British Columbia right now, Dick, and also down in Palm Springs. He's a loyal Hawkeye football fan, also in attendance here this afternoon. Sure, he too is disappointed.
How come you didn't invite me to go? You know, Tubbs wanted to go. Your partner with George Hill wanted to go. You know, we have a little sophistication within us here, too, you know.
Now given a choice, would you go here, W.P. Kinsella, or go talk to Joe Paterno about X's and O's? Come on, now tell the truth.
I went to talk to Joe.
That's right. Okay, that's why I didn't ask you, okay? But I went with the old Big Ten commish. Wayne Duke is here. He and his lovely wife, Martha, and we had a good night. Wayne, of course, is an Iowa graduate, and he has come down here to watch Penn State. It's Big Ten road debut. Take on his alma mater. What do we think about the quarterback situation at Penn State right now? We've had Kerry Collins stick in after the first 3 series. Has Collins taken over? What's the deal?
I don't know. You know, John Sackett was so good in the opener. He threw 4 touchdown passes to Bobby Ingram, you know. Then all of a sudden last week it didn't go very well for him. He threw 2 interceptions. Started out slow today, and I think the performance last week sort of impulsed the coaches to be ready if he just sagged it all to go ahead and play Collins today and see if he could pick it up. To me, I just don't think they're used to the pass offense yet. I mean, it just, neither one of them look in sync.
Yeah, you know, it's been a defensive performance that's done the job, hasn't it?
Yes, you bet.
This is Millen. I drop it off to him on 3rd down. 2:23 left in that one, Dick. Your Bruins trying to pull it out against Nebraska. That would be a big one for Coach Donahue. And there it is, 38-20 now, Florida. He puts 38 points on the board with that run and fun. Is that the name of the offense?
You talk about a guy who can coach pass offense. You're talking the right guy.
Yes.
Down there in Florida. I mean, if they don't have to be as good as you physically, they'll just drive you crazy. But every guy will catch 4 or 5 balls, running back, tight end, wide receivers, in all varieties. They'll do an excellent job with that passing game.
You know, I enjoy Lee Corso. I see him frequently up at ESPN when I'm up there for the radio network, and big football fan, lives down in Orlando. He told me, he said, you watch the Gators when they get back down home. They're gonna do it to Tennessee. They've just got the offense that you're talking about.
You got some expert advice when you start talking with me. Then I'm not gonna listen to you anymore.
You thought I was making this stuff up. inside the 25. Nittany Lions. And John Whitman carrying a couple of Hawkeyes inside the 5.
Big John, go ahead, Brent.
No, go ahead.
Big John Whitman played in the Big 33 All-Star game in Pennsylvania, which is a very prestigious game. They used to play the best of Maryland. Now they play the best of Pennsylvania. 33 top players, and he was one of them. He demonstrated it there.
Did a nice job on that play.
They're chewing him up, folks.
Yeah, they're putting this one away into the W column.
I really think they're going to have to make a big improvement in the passing game, though, to be totally successful in the Big Ten, because, you know, we saw a team last week you may not be able to chew them up with. And that was the Buckeyes. And then, you know, Michigan. And you've got to be able to throw the ball more efficiently than it's going on today.
Well, we've got a timeout. Joe says, what'd you call a timeout? Come on, kid, let's back up the bus. Here it is, 1st and goal for the Nittany Lions.
Ooh, what a surge.
Touchdown, Stephen Pitts.
Boy, did that offensive line come off the ball inside, Brent. Oh, man. They really came off the ball as a group. Tremendous surge inside. Good shoulder-to-shoulder wedge blocking. Right in the middle of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. Watch him come off the ball. Boom. Look at him just knocking him back. Look at that hole in there.
The Chip Labarca holding.
Running backs love it in days like this.
And fair. Nails down another one.
Went after it's good. Penn State 31, Iowa.
The Nittany Lions in control. 31-0. 31-0. Julie Moran, what's the situation with the injured Hawkeye, Tom Knight?
Well, Brent, he is out for the game. I was just talking to Dr. David Turse, the team doctor, and he says they're taking him out of the stadium. They're going to evaluate his left knee. He has extensive damage there, but they're not quite sure what it is. They're going to run some tests, but he will not be back today.
All right, Julie, thank you. And here are the kickoff is to the Hawkeyes. Shaw, the freshman, down at the 21-yard line. Willie Smith. He's pretty active on the special teams, and when he comes in the game, he's got a little pizzazz, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, we saw him play real well last year. He played quite a bit, Brent. You know, and he's got a couple of years of eligibility left, so they're stocked up pretty deep on defense. You know, you keep adding quality schools to the Big Ten. It's going to make it tougher on the middle-of-the-road schools to get into a bowl game.
Yeah, you just wait till Penn State faces a power like Northwestern in the Big Ten. Burmeister ready. On a roll to the right. Incomplete.
Burmeister's pass intended for number 86, Anthony Dean. Incomplete. Second down.
And some defensive performance here today.
Look at the sacks, 70 yards lost, interceptions 3. Iowa rushing absolutely, totally dominated the football game. Actually, they did a lot of that to SC last week, too. The score was much closer than the game.
Well, you know, there's a question with 11 teams in the conference. Who will fill that 12th spot? Been a lot of speculation about Missouri. We asked Coach Hayden Fry, who thinks that they need a 12th team in the Big Ten. Hayden, who would you like to see added to the conference? Here's what he had to say.
My first choice would be Notre Dame because of the tradition, the one-loss record, the prestige. Number 2 would be Nebraska because of another great program and a great coach in Tom Osborne. And number 3 would be Missouri because of the great television market, and their program will come back.
Well, it's very interesting to hear Hayden say Notre Dame. Now, that would be, in the eyes of many, a wonderful fit, except that the Irish, as you know, have their own television contract, and so far they've been reluctant to share any of the football wealth. However, when you take a look at their basketball program and the rest of their sports, they may someday come around to the same feeling that Joe Paterno and Penn State had, which was the reason why they joined the conference. But nevertheless, right now 11 teams in the conference, and Ingram.
Ooh, lousy punt. You know, if I were Coach Hayden coaching at Iowa and I had a vote, look at this return. I sure as didn't want to vote to bring in a Nebraska or a Notre Dame. I mean, it's tough enough as it is. You know, there are not a lot of football players in the state of Iowa. They have to go all over the country to compete. I'd want Willamette College to come in or something like that. Give me somebody I can beat.
Yeah, but there's an honorable man. I mean,
He
Hayden
is.
Fry, that's what would help the conference.
Yeah.
Get those Fighting Irish in here.
Oh, yeah, but the trouble is, you know, sooner or later the alumni get mad at you when you don't beat them.
We'll see them next week. Notre Dame and Purdue. Lou Holtz says he has not been spending much time in a library lately, most of it out on the practice field. Miami, Colorado, another big one. And John Sacca returns at quarterback and gets belted on the first snap of his return by Parker Wilderman. Well, Miami up, but only by 2 touchdowns as Notre Dame beats Michigan State today, 36-14.
You've been reading that book on Notre Dame.
Yes, I have. I wanted to read it, and I just think that you take a lot of anecdotes that way, and if you skew them in one direction, you're going to come up with that end result. And some of the things were interesting. Some of it I found kind of boring, to tell you the truth. Or a matter of fact.
Or so what?
Yeah.
Or so what? Tell me something we don't know, you know.
Yeah, I've been at practice sessions with Lou, and I knew he was tough. But I'll tell you, something had to be done to turn the program around in there.
What's wrong with being tough?
Yeah.
I mean, our country was made by tough people.
Well, I think a bigger issue that's raised, Dick, is probably the one about steroids, which the university has vehemently denied.
Yeah, well, let's say it's not true. Let's say it was true. It's been part of our culture. It's been part of a problem. The first time I saw it was 1982 at the Eagles. I had a player go bonsai on me on the practice field. I didn't know what was wrong with him. I mean, guy flipped out. He hit one of my offensive line coaches in the middle of the back. And he wasn't drinking Coca-Cola. I'll tell you that. Put him in a hospital for 3 days, and we found out what was wrong with him. So, I mean, it's not unique to Notre Dame. That's problems of our society. The only thing is, you know, what do you think they take in fraternity houses at Notre Dame, huh? Criminy sakes. You ever been to one of those parties?
Well, I turned him on, didn't I, folks?
Yeah, God, you.
Where was I? Let me get a grip on this thing. Oh. Oh. This may be some evening here in Iowa City. High punt. Fair catch, signal 4 at the 15-yard line. Well, it's a 26-yarder. 7 minutes to go. It's 31-0. Vermeil's got bonsai on me. This at Iowa. Crowd filing out by the thousands. The last time they were shut out, Hayden Fry was not the coach here. That's the last shutout at home in Kinnick Stadium. They faced that bleak prospect, Matt-eyed. Their second quarterback coming in, Cedric Shaw, the running back, out of bounds at the 19-yard line at the 7-minute mark here. Brian Miller. Well, a 1-point loss by UCLA. A tough setback by the Bruins in the Rose Bowl this afternoon, 14-13. Tennessee trailing by 12. That has been a wild one down there in Gainesville. Over the middle, complete, and bobbled incomplete. Julie Moran, what do you got?
Well, I caught up with Larry Smith. He's enjoying a little Hawkeye football and expecting his son to be playing here next year.
Well, I hope so, in a year, yeah.
So a future quarterback in your family playing here at Iowa.
Well, that would be a fun thing. I know he's got his goals set on that, so we just have to wait and see what happens.
Why did he decide to transfer from USC to Iowa?
Oh, I think it was a lot of things. I think he just felt that in my situation leaving there, and he hung in there, did a really good job for the period of time he was there, but he felt that he had a great chance to come here and compete for the starting position. I think that's really what he was looking for.
Are we going to see you on the sidelines in the future?
Well, again, I don't know. That's a big question. I really don't know. I'm just trying to get rested up, and if a good opportunity comes along, and I get offered it, I got to take a good look at it. And so I'd like you back on the sideline in some capacity.
Now we're going to go over to Corby here. Corby, when your dad left USC, that probably played a big decision in your wanting to leave the school as well.
Not until I went into spring practice. And after spring practice, I decided to toughen it out, but, just due to circumstances out of my control, I felt like that was the best decision to make, was a transfer.
How do you like the atmosphere here in Iowa?
I love it. I love it. It's great. Players are great. It's a beautiful state.
So you'll have 2 years of eligibility left?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. All right, back upstairs to you, Brett.
Julie, thank you. And you know what, Dick? What do you think? I think we'll see Larry back on the sideline sometime.
I sure hope so. College football needs him. He needs him. He's an honest, hard-working guy, good football coach, and they fired him, and they're 0-2. Wasn't all coaching.
That was Archie hauling it back. You bet. I'm sure that, Larry originally is out of the Midwest, out of Ohio, I believe it is, and he and his wife have never had an opportunity to travel during the fall. He's going to go down into the Southeast. They're going to tour the battlefields, stop in on a little football in the South, and they're going to go up and see a friend of his at Rhode Island who's the head coach. And meanwhile, when this ends, I'm going over there. Mr. Vermeil, you're welcome to come with me.
I'm gonna stand right here. I think right there and just lean over. And
that's it. That's where you have the best time, right there. 6.5 minutes to go. Well, you can't be surprised that Penn State came in here and is going to win, but you've got to be surprised with the way they handled Iowa here today, Dick.
Well, I read real confidence in their coaching staff last night in visiting with him. I talked to Craig Service, the offensive line coach. He's very pleased. And actually, I think a little surprised at how quickly the offensive line has come together. Their attitude is tremendous. I talked to Bill Kenny, who coaches the tight end, and gosh, if he's the guy that taught Kyle Brady to block like he's been blocking today and last week, that's a great plus. I talked to Kenny Jackson, the wide receiver coach, and they're all very positive. But I'll tell you this, the passing game right now sucks, and they're really going to have to get it going. I mean, they're going to have to get it going if they're going to be successful.
Offenburg and number 93, Cody Bates. And Parker Wilderman. Third down, 7 from the 46.
5.5 minutes. Saka scrambling and out of bounds. Penalty flag is down.
You see what I mean? In every pass, the quarterback is, if he has any time at all, he's looking for somebody to throw the ball to, and he's left with nothing else to do but to scramble and head for the sidelines. And I know that they're going to end up being much better here down the road, but good thing they're not playing Ohio State or Michigan right now.
Great job by Northwestern today up in Dyke Stadium.
Oh, Northwestern. You're really up on that one.
And Louisville.
Push in the back, above the waist, 10 yards from the flag. Repeat the down.
Ball being brought back to the 38.
By the scrimmage, the Penn State 38, third down, 23.
.5:25 to go. 31-0, Penn State over Iowa. And this is Timmy Herring again.
Tim Herring.
Getting a little unexpected playing time here today in Iowa City.
Marcus Porter.
That shows you how deep they are. They do a great job of recruiting up there, and they've had such a good, stable program over the years with no NCAA problems or anything like that, and they get the cream of the crop.
Fourth down.
It's amazing that all the great years, Dick, that Penn State has played football, and Michigan too, that those two schools have never played each other. And yet on October 16th at Happy Valley, Michigan will come a-calling. And if you want to listen to some coaches scream bloody murder in the Big Ten, here's a punt by Vasillo. And a fair catch by Willie at the 15-yard line. Talk to him about the Penn State schedule. This year, they've got an off week prior to the Michigan game and another one prior to the Ohio State game.
I'll tell you that, you talk about having just a little bit of a physical edge, and I think that was created because I think they actually had to drop some people and then fill in with Big Ten people. But Joe has got a great football team here if they can improve this passing attack.
There's the fake by incomplete.
Matt Ide, the quarterback that time, he was so upset. A chance to come in here and play, a transfer from Michigan State. He's been here, he redshirted a year, earned the right to play. He's in there playing now, throws a perfect strike. It is dropped. He was upset.
Odom's dropping that pass.
Another Big Ten cakewalk.
How many players can you travel with in the conference?
62 players.
Do you think all 62 got in for Penn State today?
They had to come in 2 planes. See, at State College, they don't have a big enough runway to go there with the big airplane, so they had to come here in 2 small airplanes.
Odoms makes a catch. Can't land a big jet on that runway yet, huh?
Not yet. You know, the farmers up there, a lot of wonderful people up there, but they don't want that environment fooled around with. You know, and it might take them a little while to get that runway made a little bit bigger so the big planes can land.
Well, now Hayden has gone over there. That picture of Hayden is smiling a lot more than the real one is right now, eh?
Here's the real coach. Always a very, very fine football coach. A very good offensive football coach. Even when they get beat, they normally put points on the board. And I think that's a credit to the defense of Penn State. The defensive coaching staff, Jerry Sandusky and Greg Shand and Tom Bradley and Joe Serra, these guys have done a real good job of putting this defense together for this ball game.
Well, the Nittany Lions of Penn State have served notice that even though they come in vanilla uniforms and even though the coach wears some rather plain attire over there on the far sideline, they are a team to be reckoned with here in the conference. And there on the right-hand side is Joe Pa right there. There's Hayden over on the left. Joe, for as long as I've known him, has rolled up the pant legs there, and that's a pretty fancy jacket, though, for him.
He's smiling. I'll tell you, last night he had a beautiful sport coat on. I said, "Coach, you look great." And he said his wife was trying to clean up his act a little bit. She's been out shopping, and he really looked great. He's happy about this football team. He really is. But whenever, as a head football coach, you can even coach a winning team and not be happy if they're not a great attitude team. Now, you always want them to, you know, what you like is the combination of winning and a great attitude team as well. And he's got a team with a real good attitude right now, and he's loving it. He also knows he has a problem on his hand in his passing game.
Three minutes to go. Incomplete. So Matt Ide and Odom's trying to hook up here, and Hayden Fry, of course, trying to avoid the first shutout of his career in Kinnick Stadium. Paul Burmeister, the starter, actually played quite well, except for that defensive pressure applied by the Nittany Lions, who sacked him 7 times and intercepted him 3 times.
The offensive line just didn't have enough experience in there to handle the kind of constant pressure those guys give him.
I guess the sack total officially is up to 9.
Oh, nice. Boy, can he...
Terry Killens rides.
Boy, he can accelerate.
Back out of bounds.
You know,
by Terry Keller.
Well, here are our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. And it was Kajana Carter for Penn State. 19 carries, 144 yards, and a touchdown. And for Iowa, he hustled the entire game. Mike Wells of the Hawkeyes. Chevrolet donates $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need.
When it's going right, it's going right. Fumble it right back to your own man. There's Mr. Wells. Boy, he's a competitor.
And there is Carter, who was a sizzling running back here this afternoon in Iowa City.
Look at that smile. 144, 7.6 average. Heck, he averaged over 6 yards a carry last year.
This one is coming to an end. Not fast enough for the Hawkeyes. Off the field here in Iowa City.
He's a newcomer here to the program out of California Junior College system, Mount Sac Junior College in Southern California. They really think he's going to be a good player. Right now he's going to take a few weeks off. The trainers here do a real good job. Headed up by Ed Crowley. Ed Crowley's been here for a long, long time and does a real good job taking care of these players.
Second down. First down. Final 2 minutes coming up. You know, Dick, speaking of Northwestern, today outside Dyke Stadium, instead of programs, they were having some difficulty selling ads up there. They gave away posters with the lineups on it. And the reason why, you apparently under NCAA regulations, you cannot give a program to a possible recruit, but they love posters. So they put...
Is that legal?
Yeah, it is.
You'll find a way to make it illegal.
Use the posters, and
the kids like it.
Northwestern used that today prior to the game against Boston College. A few more wins like that today against BC, however, and they'll be selling enough ads to put a big program out again.
Well, they've done a good job there. We were there last year, remember, in the opener against Notre Dame. They drove Notre Dame crazy for a while. The guy's doing a good job of coaching. Now, if they can just do a good job of recruiting.
Well, we've got an opportunity. Let me thank the folks who have helped us put on this broadcast. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. The coordinating producer of ABC's college football is Bob Goodrich. Today's game was produced by Kim Belton, Stanford man. Nice job down there, Kim, and directed by Bill Webb. Billy called the shots on these pictures. And we want to thank everybody, our associate director, Russell Brooks, and all the good folks, especially our cameramen. Nice job today. A minute to go, and a lot of this crew will, of course, be a part of Monday Night Football. What do you think, Dick? The Broncos and the Chiefs Monday night on ABC.
Well, I tell you, I'm not going to pick a winner. I don't expect the Chiefs to play like they did last week. Boy, they played poor football. I talked to Carl Peterson, the president general manager of the Chiefs, this week, and he was really upset. Marty was really upset. I think we'll see a very intense, tight football game Monday night.
Hey, let's go right now quickly to John Saunders, John.
With only 11 seconds left, defensively, you still have to think, watch the fake. It's only third down. It's conceivable, but certainly not probable. You want to just get a good hold, good snap, and get it up and get the game over with. Pat O'Neill for the game. This will win it for Syracuse. He missed it. He missed it. And Tim.
It was a tiebreaker.
We are back here. Oh, an exciting one. coming to an end there. And here, Penn State winning its first road game in the Big Ten. 31-0 over Iowa. Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions. 2-0 in the Big Ten for Dick Vermeil and Julie Moran. I'm Brett Musburger. So long, everybody.
College football on ABC Sports has been brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Amstel Light. By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Lay's, America's favorite potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one. Monday night, ABC Sports will be in Arrowhead Stadium for one of